Coming to you live from the Hellmouth Adjacent. It's the Popular Cinema Podcast. I'm your co-host Payne.
And I'm Bill, and that was awfully loud music. I felt like the stormtroopers were busting through the door. I was like, "Ooh, what? What's happening? What's going
The
on in here?"
Stormtroopers. It did seem loud over here coming from in studio.
Well, I don't know what's going on over there, but it was a damn loud over here.
It must be my giant furnace coming over that masks most of the sound then. Actually, I was going to turn it up even more because it seemed kind of low.
No, it was pretty loud.
I was talking to my woman the other day and I was going over the statistics of the downloads for our show.
Mhm.
And because I was discussing what podcasts she's going to be putting in her queue next. And P.S., our podcast is not in her queue.
Wow, that's insulting.
And I go, look at it. I go, babe, our downloads, they're increasing. We're getting a lot more listeners. And she goes, yeah, she goes, you know what? I like your content. Your production value is low, but I like your content.
Really?
I was like, wow. I go,
She just
that's,
read you for filth right to your face.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess we could. I mean, we've got a lot of rid of the bells and whistles. We just kind of stripped it down.
That's right. That's our thing. Stripped down and just basic, it's the content that really counts.
Hmm. Um, well, this is episode 85. I like to start off the show, Bill, with we lost another member of the family. Superfan Melissa's mother-in-law, superfan Neil's mother, Mary Nandy, passed away this past week. So I would like to dedicate this episode to her.
Cool.
She was 77, married for 51 years, mother of two. Um, 51 years, long time to be married.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, that's longer than I've been alive.
Barely, but okay.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, so this episode's to her. Um, I can't promise that Bill won't swear or say anything inappropriate, so I guess I would like to try to go for a clean episode, but that's
Right,
not
because
going to
you
happen.
never swear or say anything inappropriate, so it's all down to me. Uh-huh.
Uh, yeah. Anyway, so Bill, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
That's good. That's good. Um, I watched several movies this week.
Well, that's good.
One of the movies was The Favorite, an Academy Award nominated movie.
Right?
Enjoyed it. Very surprising. I don't really do period pieces. I'm not a Downton Abbey type of person, but The Favorite was actually somewhat interesting.
Was it the
Um,
sapphic love that got you?
wow, wow. The thing about it
Uh,
is, I think I know what that word means.
yeah, I used the appropriate term.
You did. It wasn't about that. It was very cheeky. I think it's the story of like the
Yeah,
whatever
butt
you want to say,
cheeky.
Queen of France or whatever else, and you have two people competing for her interest, hence The Favorite. It was surprisingly enjoyable and engaging. I think it started Amanda Seyfried, and I forgot who the other lady is. I probably should know the names of these people. Anyway,
That Amanda Seyfried really doesn't do it for me. She was in those Mamma Mia movies. I didn't really love her in those either. But okay. I don't know what it is
okay.
about her. Her and that Julia Stiles just bothers
Oh,
me. Something bothers me about them.
what was Julia Stiles in that movie, the dancing movie?
Step Up?
Not Step Up. There's another one. It was like an interracial romance.
Black
Um,
Swan?
no,
I
no.
don't know. She's in 10 Things I Hate About You. That's all I know. That's all I know. That was enough to get me like, ugh, I don't like her.
All right, so we're gonna add Julia Stiles, Amanda Seyfried, and Jennifer Garner to your list of actresses that really just don't quite hit the buttons for you.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about them. I can't really pinpoint it, but I just know I don't like them.
Okay. I also saw Green Book, the Academy Award winning film, which of course you said based on the trailer, I didn't really want to give it a shot because it just looked kind of like cliche and cheesy.
Like
My
driving Miss Daisy. Driving Miss Daisy in reverse.
it was
Daisy is driving.
um
Ar-
enjoyable.
Aragorn was playing the
The driver. He was playing
driver, right?
the racist Italian, if you
Right.
will, who later changes. Now, I've been thinking about this some more here. As I watched the movie and took it for what it's worth, the messaging and everything else, I found myself smiling and sitting there going, that's it hits all the points that you want in the story. And you're like, all the people change and they do things for the better, and people can become, you know, greater beings than what they are, and all the messaging, Bill, it was on point.
Well, what about the controversy? Did you see the point of the controversy, or did you
I
think that?
do, because I looked at it some more based on the family of Dr. Shirley, that's played by Marshala Ali,
Wait.
and
What's his name? I'm tired of you butchering people's names. What's his name?
Marshala Ali.
Mahershala Ali.
How are you able to enunciate? How come
It's
you're
called
dictating?
phonetics, bitch. We learned it in third grade.
I don't think we went to the same school. Well, we did go to the
Yeah,
same
we did
school
in
in
third
third
grade.
grade.
Yes, we did.
Maybe my initial schooling was a little bit lesser than yours. Maybe those were
It
the
was the
formative years.
same Catholic diocese that I was going to. You just were going to a different building.
What
Same
building was that?
place.
What
St.
building was that?
Anthony's.
Was that with the Mush Mouse? Was that with the
Didn't you
Mush
go?
Mouse?
Yeah, right. Didn't you go to St. Anthony's?
No, I did not go to St. Anthony.
Where did you go for the first couple years?
Someplace called Calvin Christian Academy.
I thought you went to St. Anthony's.
No, I did not. My sister
Well, I
went to
guess
St.
you'd know.
Anthony.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So,
It was still a
anyway,
Christian, right?
yeah.
So they were probably teaching phonetics. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe I was just absent on those days. They were really going over these names. So, Mr.
Right.
Ali, can I just call him Mr. Ali then?
Whatever. That's fine.
Yeah. Um, after reading a little bit more, I could see the concern because the point of view is not from Ali's character; it's more from Aragon, Viggo Mortensen's character.
Mhm.
So I can see their point, and I don't know if I'm bothered by that. If I didn't know about it, I would just look at it as a story of this, a man, specifically a white man growing and changing. I've seen that story a million times, and the messaging was still good, if you will. But the fact that maybe it could be done reverse, I can see why they would be bothered. There is also another scene that kind of bothered me in the film that I thought about later, and I don't really want to speak on it too long. There's a scene where the driver, Mortison's character, punches a police officer in the face. And looking at it now, because the officer had said something rude to him, you go, I found it to be inappropriate, if you will.
What was
Um,
inappropriate about it?
well, you don't hit officers in the face. You hit an officer in the face, you're going to jail for years. You know, there was no consequences for it. It was just like, how dare you call me a name, and I'm going to punch you in the face because right is right. That shit doesn't work in the real world, in any world. You punch an officer, you go to jail for years.
What
Um,
name did the officer call him?
oh, he called him a Negro. Um, Based on his ethnic background of being Italian, because it was in Deep South, so they didn't like the Italians either. So he called him that. He punched him in the face. Blah blah blah. They called in a favor. He got out of jail, and bygones and moving on. I just didn't care for that scene. Looking back on it, and looking at it from today's optics, um, I just thought it was a bad look. Anyway, I give it a thumbs up. I don't think I give it best picture. I don't think I give the favorite best picture, but they were both enjoyable films, Bill.
So they just weren't best picture material.
No, not for me. We
Okay.
also saw something that wasn't nominated for best picture, Creed 2.
Oh, right. Okay.
I find that my woman's been trying to watch Creed 2 for a while now,
Oh,
and
wonder why.
as I pointed out to you, there's nothing like sitting on the couch with your woman, and then it's almost like every scene, you know what Michael B. Jordan's doing. You know the people behind the camera are like, get the baby oil and hit the weights. That's what they're doing. They're making sure he's doing
So does she spend
push-ups.
like 50% of the movie without a shirt on?
That's pretty much it. Or
Okay.
wearing some other tight shirt, all oiled up and lifting. It's almost like he's just coming straight out of the gym where his muscles are all swole. That's how every scene was filmed. Everything is swole,
Hmm.
you know. And then she's looking at me going, "Wow, he's really built." And then she goes, "Not as built as you, babe." And you're just like, "Mhm." As I'm sitting there with my TV dinner on my poo different stomach. Yeah,
What do we
yeah.
call that thing? Chubs? As you're eating like a pea that dropped off your plate from Chubs.
Yeah, as I'm walking to the fridge to get a Klondike bar. Uh-huh. Yeah, babe. If I just put this one Klondike down, I could be a stunt double for Michael B. Jordan. Yeah. So
So did you feel a certain way about her like oogling Michael B. Jordan throughout the
no,
whole movie? Or what?
I don't, but I find it interesting only in the sense that there's no falling asleep and it's very
Oh,
engaged.
interesting, right? Because every other time she'd normally fall asleep halfway through something. This time she was like wide awake the whole thing.
Wide awake the whole time, making commentary going. Like, I don't know if I find that acting believable. She's engaged. Engaged.
Huh. Okay.
So the movie wasn't as good as Creed 1, but it was predictable, more predictable, but somewhat enjoyable. They dusted off Dolph Lundgren and what's her name? What was that tall Bridget Nielsen? They dusted her off too.
Who's she play?
Well, she played like Drago's love interest, ex love interest. So
Okay.
yeah, she was on it for like maybe 10 minutes total, but she made an
Okay.
appearance.
And who is the main villain? That guy. He was on Instagram.
Dolph Lundgren's son.
Is that really Dolph Lundgren's son, or is it just
Uh,
his son in the
No,
movie?
it's in the movie, right? Some
Okay.
unknown guy from Romania playing the role.
Okay.
Uh, but
So is there going to be a Creed 3?
yeah, yeah. Well, Creed 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? I mean, if it's made something, I don't know how much Creed 2 made, but I don't think.
Did they kill off Rocky at the end? Because I heard Stallone was done.
No, they did not kill off Rocky at the end.
Okay.
So Rocky reconnected with his son, very emotional type of thing. I think Sly Stallone plays that role well. That's good. They could probably beef up all the other stuff, but everything is very predictable in these movies. Lose the first fight, train harder, beat the guy in the second fight. That's the formula. That doesn't seem to change. So
Well, yeah, it's just that they handle the formula aptly. Is what I hear.
also, apparently Michael B. Jordan, you hear, is going to be playing Methuselah. Did
Like
you see?
the
Is
grandfather
that
of all time.
what's that?
Who's Methuselah? Isn't that like the grandfather of time?
It's the grandfather of time. What are you reading? Are you reading comic
I don't
books?
know. Who the hell is Methuselah?
Methuselah is the oldest man, considered the oldest living being ever, 969 years of age in the Bible.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
He
when you
was
say you're as
originally,
old as Methuselah.
yeah, yeah.
Like you are as old as Methuselah,
I think Tom Cruise was going to be playing Methuselah, but he has stepped down,
which
and
would have
now,
been appropriate because he's as old as Father Time too. But okay.
oh, yeah, there you go. That's interesting. Are they going to age up Michael B. Jordan? Or black don't crack, so he can
They'll just put some old man makeup on his face, but he'll still have chiseled abs. So
So he's stepping in to play the role, and if for the people who out there who saw, what is it? Is it Darren Aronofsky's Noah?
okay.
Was-
I think I saw
Yeah,
it. I think I saw Noah.
Methuselah was in that movie, but he was played by Anthony Hopkins, if I recall.
Okay.
So anyway, this will be the second time we get a Methuselah on screen. I don't really know what the plot's going to be, but
Did you see Noah?
I did see Noah.
I wasn't
Did
impressed.
was it? What's that?
I didn't. I saw it. I wasn't impressed.
I wasn't impressed either. It seemed like they went with a whole, almost like an action-packed Noah.
Right. Making an action-oriented Bible
You know,
story.
demons flying around, creatures coming up out of the ground. It just seemed weird.
Extra.
Yeah, it seemed extra. I don't think it found an audience either. I think it was.
I don't think it was a hit either.
it was stuck in that area of if it was a full action movie, maybe, but I don't know. It was in a weird gray area, and I just don't think it worked in any. It was it should have been tried to be something instead of being everything for what it was.
I didn't care for it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Bill, I'm moving on. I want you to know that I did watch the short film Alien Containment.
Aren't there like 6, or they're not released yet?
There's six Alien short films, which you're the one that told me about it, I think, on our
Right.
last episode, that said that every Friday, starting this past Friday, March 29th, they will be dropping on a website called IGN.
IGN. Right.
Which I think after they drop on IGN, you can probably find it anywhere on YouTube. And so the first short I watched this morning over breakfast called Alien Containment was about 9 minutes.
That's kind of a long short film, but okay.
Yeah. It was what it was.
Wow. You sound really thrilled about it. So
Oh no. It's like a teaser of 9 minutes of what you would expect to happen in an alien film, but 9 minutes in a short story. I'm going to be watching all 6. I
Okay.
just don't know about the fact that they're released every Friday. I have to put almost up like an email calendar reminder to kind of turn on the.
I'm
IGN.
sure that somebody will remind you on your Twitter or something that it's out that day, although I didn't see anything about it on mine this week. So
Yeah, are you gonna watch it?
well, I will if I remember it's out there. I mean, they might want to make it a little bit more publicity if they want me to catch it, because I didn't hear shit about it this week. Until you just said that.
What's going on? How are you doing? Is your liver okay? Is your body parts okay?
Yeah, they're all functioning, I suppose. I just woke up from a nap. I'm a little out of it.
All right. Well, let's get you rolling here. Let's get you rolling. Let's talk about Superman's piping on his red boots. That always gets you excited.
I thought you were joking about that. Are you serious?
I am joking about that part right
Oh,
there.
okay.
We'll do some soft boiled stuff for you. Nothing heavy.
Whatever.
Nothing heavy for you. So, what's the deal for the people out there for some DC news? Ezra Miller is now stepping down from being the Flash.
That's the rumor, which doesn't really surprise me because this movie has been delayed umpteen times. It just puts another nail in the coffin for DC for me. So that's where I'm at.
Apparently, the brass is very happy with what is it, the lighter fare of Aquaman and Shazam and the success that they're having. And Ezra Miller now wants to do a more, sounds to me like epic, darker tone take on the Flashpoint story, but they're just not seeming to be interested. So I think he wants to just like bounce. I kind of I'm disappointed, but I like sticking to his artistic guns. I'm a fan of that, Bill.
I don't know what the point of sticking to your guns is if you're going to get canned for it, but okay. I'm not happy about it either, but at this point with DC, I have to take the attitude of, really?
Sorry.
At this point with DC, I have to take the attitude of whatever will be, will be. Que sera.
Whatever will be, will be.
Because, it's clearly not going in the direction that I want it to go in either. What can you say? I'm not enthused about their world. At least I have Marvel.
This is what you sound like, Bill, when you wake up from a nap. Usually you're a little bit more eloquent. You use some sort of bigger words, 8-letter words. And now you're talking like this. So you go like this. Yeah, it's not good. I mean, it's just not as good as it should be good, but it's just not as
Really?
good. You know what I'm saying?
Sounds like, in other words, I sound like you. Is that what you're trying to say?
I've got my
Oh, there.
thesaurus right here in front of me. Can I
Uh-huh.
just pick another word out besides good, gooder, or goodest?
It's
Um,
just it's gonna be what's gonna be. I can't, I'm like resigned to the fact that it's just not gonna be what I want.
is there a rumor out there that there is a Zack Snyder cut? I know there's a rumor out there. Has it gained any more traction that it truly exists?
Zack Snyder said there are 10 different cuts that exist out there that are part of his original take. So there's no final Zack Snyder cut. It exists in some kind of rough form that he would have to get money in order to go back and finish properly in order to make it an actual Zack Snyder cut.
How
He
much
said
money
that
does he need? How much money does
he
he
didn't
need?
he didn't say. He just said that it's unfinished in its unfinished form. There exists several cuts of his movie right now.
Isn't there a Richard Donner? What is that? The Richard Donner cut of Superman?
Yes, it's god awful.
God awful. Now, when was that released?
About 10 years ago.
Okay, and why was it released, and who released it? Apparently, it was finished. Obviously, they didn't
Warner
have a.
Brothers went back and allowed Richard Donner to, because Richard Donner's reputation over the years has gained such momentum that at some point they decided to let him have some money to finish what he wanted to do as his original take, and they released it on DVD or Blu-ray.
Okay,
Horrible.
and is there any chance that can happen with the Zack Snyder cut?
Well, I mean, doubtful. There's really no market for Blu-rays and DVDs anymore, so physical media is out. And it'll probably be several years before they ever allow him to get his hands back on the cut because they're kind of moving in a different direction right now. If it continues to gain momentum, it might one day be released. Sure, I wouldn't look for it in the next 10 years.
Hmm, okay, I mean, I would think that would be a. Why would we not want to watch that? I would think you would want to watch it. You
I
like
would.
it.
I. It's not that I wouldn't want to watch it. I might watch it as like a curiosity piece,
Sure,
but I'm happy with the movie we got, so I don't
sure,
necessarily need that in my life.
sure. That's the same thing with saying I was happy with Lord of the Rings too, the the theater version until I saw the extended version. I mean,
Totally different story. Theater version and um, extended version of Lord of the Rings was just material by the same person added back in. This is a totally different viewpoint of the actual script of the movie.
excellent point that you made. Zack Snyder also said that his Batman kills people. Is that what he was doing at some sort of interview? I forgot where he was
He
doing
was
this
at a
interview
comic
about.
convention for Zack Snyder's like film universe or film verse or oeuvre, whatever you want to call it. Um, and he said, yeah, that among other things, Batman, a man that dresses up like a bat, basically would have to kill people in order to make it through. So people who don't appreciate the fact that the Batman killed people in BVS need to get over it because it's not
Um,
realistic that he wouldn't do that.
are you cool with that? Do you like his take on the Batman?
I'm cool with the killing that he had to do in the movie to save his own life or to save other people's lives. Yeah. And let's not forget, this isn't the first screen iteration of Batman that killed people. If you recall, there's a scene in Batman Returns, the Tim Burton movie, the sequel to Batman 1, in which he basically burns one of those street clowns to a crisp with the Batmobile's engine.
Oh, they were standing behind him. Yes,
Yeah.
standing
And then
behind the vehicle.
he set him on fire and then just kept going.
Well,
So
maybe they sustained second-degree burns. We don't know if there
sure,
was sort
sure.
of.
Let me put you in front of a jet engine, like inches away from you, and like fire it right up, and let's see if you come away with second-degree burns. But okay, sure, that's believable.
At the
My
time to
point.
temper and take some flack for having that scene.
Well, he should, but that's to me as a much more callous use of the killing mechanism than the one that was employed in BVS, which Batman was killing people because they were trying to kill him. Well, I mean, that's when you come in my house and shoot at me. If you get shot in the face, don't come at me with "I killed you," because yeah, you're in my shit.
Are you comfortable with your heroes in this darker world killing people?
I'm comfortable with them killing people in self-defense. I don't think they should just walk around like snapping necks and whatnot. Now that's not a deep. That's not a that's not a diss on Superman, because Superman I felt like had no choice in Man of Steel either than to snap Zod's neck in that case. So,
Oh, it's a complicated world out there.
but it makes the heroes. It imbues them with elements of humanity because we could all do certain things in certain circumstances, and I think that it isn't necessarily a horrifying, unforgivable thing depending on the circumstances. I don't think anything in the Zack Snyder verse made me feel like it was beyond a hero's call. The killing that happened in those movies.
Bill, I'm very excited. I think, what is it? It comes out in July. I know you're not. And we already have our movie schedule set for the year. But if it wasn't set for the year, I would want to add Brightburn to the list.
Really?
Produced by James Gunn. It seems to have the take of what if Superman was evil when he came here as a child. I just saw the extended trailer again just a couple days ago, and boy, am I licking my chops for this one. I'm licking my chops. It looks delicious, devilly delicious, Bill.
Really? What about this movie appeals to you so much?
Well, it's the same with anything. There's a couple
It's
roads in
something
life. You
different.
could go down the road where you sit there and help the lady down the street, or you can go down the road where you kick the lady in the back and push her out into the street.
What kind of hero story is that? How is that a hero story? That becomes a villain story.
I don't know why. Why does it have to be a hero story? I'm not confused by that.
I don't know. I would rather watch a hero story than a story about a villain that kills people. I mean, I don't know. It seems like if a guy had superpowers, you wouldn't want to necessarily follow that story if he was walking around killing people.
You don't
I
know.
don't
This
know.
might be a redemption story of some sort. You start off being a bad seed, you do bad things, and then eventually maybe you find your way towards the end of the movie.
Okay.
I'm not really sure, but let's be quite honest with you. My whole new thing is you've heard me ranting and raving about it is here. I'm looking for new movies and characters that are subverting expectations, and I've got like 500. Obviously, I'm overinflating here. Superhero movies, superhero journeys, good guys. I finally got somewhere somebody's a little bit more edgy, and so I don't know how it ends. I don't know where they're going to go with the story. But the fact is, you have a kid that's somehow, being bullied essentially, but unfortunately has superpowers instead of maybe taking a higher road, takes a different path.
So what
I
does he
don't
do?
know.
Start killing people with his superpowers? Is that the general idea?
Yes, yes.
Now, see, that's you
You
talk
don't
about
you don't
Batman.
tug on Superman's cape.
Wow. So now that's where it crosses the line for me. You're asking me before about Batman and how I feel about that, and if there's like I said, if it's in self defense or he's trying to stop somebody from killing other people, then it's understandable. But if he's just walking around chopping off heads because
No,
people are
I don't know.
bad,
Listen. Obviously, I don't know yet. But if you look at the trailer, you can extrapolate that if the waitress calls him a bum and pushes him down or mistreats him or some of the kids, then he's going to respond in kind. Not that he's just some sort of complete sociopath, I think, for the trailer, but if you punch me in the face, I'm going to punch you back, but my fist seems to be a little bit stronger, than yours. So you may, lose your head or something. I don't know.
well, enjoy it when it hits Netflix.
Oh, it comes out. It's coming around the Memorial Day. It's coming out July. It's the holiday too. They gotta. That's how they're releasing it around the holiday, Bill. That's strong.
Around July 4th?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we have a movie on the schedule that's on that week already. So,
What movie is that?
Spider-Man: Far From Home.
I got to look at the release date. I can't believe that they're going to release
July
Brightburn
5th.
around that time. That's bad. That's bad. That's the case. Anyway, there's also a movie coming to Netflix on April 10th called The Silence, which looks like it's a combination of a quiet A Quiet Place. It looks like it's got some elements of Pitch Black in there. It's where the people have some giant deadly bats, and you have to be quiet. You know. Um, but I
Uh,
saw the trailer, and the concept looks good.
All these Netflix movies have like one thing in common. Can you guess what it is?
Me sitting there with my eyeballs peeled.
Yeah,
What?
besides that, low budget. I mean, wake me up when they start spending some blockbuster money on their movies, okay?
I mean, you're really all about. You're just.
Whizzes and bangs. Yes, I am. I am. That's what I'm about.
You're not going to deal with the fact is. Would you watch a movie if I created it just on my cell phone? Like if I got my iPad, the iPad Pro, and I just started making my own movie, but there would be no like, I don't know, no
Effects.
fire. Yeah, none.
Well, we're gonna watch Native Son next weekend, which is, by the way, what our Saturday movie is gonna be because it comes on that Saturday night. Is that cool with you?
Are you serious?
I am.
I don't know if I want to watch Native Son. Fuck.
What?
It's like the time we watched Moonlighting.
What?
Or
It's
I wouldn't-
Moonlight.
sorry, a Moonlight, whatever.
Yeah,
Oh, uh,
but but did your nephew direct Moonlight? No, mine directed Native Son. So I
you're
think you
pulling
should
the
watch it.
family card. You're pulling the
I
family
am.
card,
I'm gonna be like right there. That scene. That's in my DNA. I can do that.
huh? The movie's kind of intense. It's gonna have some sort of rape in there. It's gonna be heavy-handed. It's oh,
We don't have to watch it, but
we're gonna go from Shazam. Your phone is charged. Your phone is charged. Ooh, let me do my flossing. To like, what's going on? Take those panties off. Here you go. But no. That's you talk about two different ends of the spectrum.
the only reason I want to watch it is because somebody in my family directed it. If it wasn't for that, I would go nowhere near this movie. But that's
Am I? The fact is that your nephew directed the film. Am I able to look at you and be like, "Oh, this is so predictable and amateur"?
yeah, that's fine. I don't care. I don't think. Yeah, you know how I feel about that. That's fine.
Okay, all right. Because I'm not going to sit there and give you some sort of sugarcoat thing at the end and be like,
That's fine.
I'll give you the whole. You know what? That's amazing that he's got the opportunity. Clearly, the people he's got some skills and talent enough where the people want to throw cash at him and hire people and direct. I think that's all very amazing. The material, the material.
Yeah.
So
I
if you're telling me my nephew over there directed Brightburn, where I'm going to be like, Bill, yeah, it's about the evil take on Superman, and by the way, he's just a sociopath. He was never bullied. He had everything. He was just like, I just want to kill motherfuckers. Are you going to be cool with watching Brightburn then?
of course.
Okay. All right, that's fine. So be it. Moving on, we have Shazam coming up this week. Yawn, boring,
Yay!
predictable.
Wow,
Lord.
really? Boy, don't
But
sound so enthusiastic.
despite all positive, I mean, DC is just over there just feeling themselves with all the positive response they're getting to Shazam.
They
Because
got
this
a
guy out there,
93%
Zachary
Frenchman's
Levi's out
rating.
there flossing on the screen. But whatever. The real movie that we really care about is coming out at the end of April. What is it? April 26th?
April 26th,
Avengers
which means April 25th because we're going to the Thursday show, no question.
Okay. Well, this is good. It's apparently I'm glad the people I work with don't know about me when I sit there and catch the Avengers flu
Really?
on Friday.
You don't have like 400,000 vacation days you could take. You'd have to call in sick, right?
I'm
Right.
not going to answer that question because this
Uh-huh.
episode could maybe be used against me in a court of law.
In a court of law. Right. Got
Then
it.
unless I got that Smollett money, if I got that Smollett money, I just throw 10 grand at it. Here, 10 grand, take it. Charges dropped.
Wow. Wow.
So there's going to be lots of spoilers. Do you think the people will? I think the Russos came out and said, please don't spoil the movie for others.
Yeah, I imagine there will be. So I suggest, well, what I'll do is go on Twitter and just block or mute the words. Anything like Avengers, Captain America, Black Widow. I'll have a whole litany of words to block.
One, I don't know how to do that. And two,
It's not that hard.
are you able to get rid of those blocks after you see the movie, or do you have to
No,
go
they're
through line up?
permanently sealed. You can never get rid of those words. That's it. You'll never see the word Avengers on your timeline again. Yes, you can get rid of them.
Okay, very easily, or do you have to go through
Yes,
and swipe each one?
it's not hard. It's easy. But you have to go through and remove each word. So,
Are you concerned
Plus,
about being spoiled if you're going to go see it Thursday night?
I am. Because it's releasing in China like 2 days early anyway. And so there's also going to be critic screenings and
Shit,
leaks
do we
of
have
other
any
kinds.
connections in New York? We can just have somebody just bring us over a bootleg copy of it. We don't have to go to the theater.
Yeah, we're not watching bootleg quality for Avengers Endgame.
All right. So lots of spoilers for the
So
3-hour movie. It's going to drop. Oh, by the way, I listen to sports radio, and the one host is very excited about Game of Thrones, and
good.
so much that he has his production assistant or whoever is always going like this. By the way, hey Riz, you know what? I've got some Game of Thrones spoilers for you. He goes, yeah, give them to me. I can't get enough. I have to turn the radio off at that point. I don't know what the deal is. The last season hasn't even started. Spoilers are out there. Even superfan Carlos is somewhat staying spoiler free for once.
Really?
I don't get it. It's starting to annoy me. Like I feel as though there's shit.
Do you
I
want
don't
me
know.
to show you how to go about blocking words from your Twitter feed? But see, you go around to different places anyway. So,
Who you acting like somehow I'm just in the dark web somewhere or go around different
well,
places?
you do. You like go directly to websites, which I can't. You can't block those. But I mean, if you just use one, I don't understand why you do that. But if you just use one news feed, then I can teach you how to block it.
Hmm. I can't, Bill. I gotta be jacked in all sites at all times.
Okay, so the speaking of back to Endgame, the tickets are going on sale probably tomorrow, maybe Tuesday, if not tomorrow for sure Tuesday. Now listen, I don't have time for your shenanigans with these tickets. When I call you and go, we're getting the tickets, I don't want to hear any nonsense because I have to move on these because they're going to be very popular.
So it's my turn to pay. Do you have my credit card?
I believe I do. It's not a Discover card, correct?
It is not the Discover card.
All right. The last two digits are 05.
Oh, 5.
That's what I have.
I hate dealing with you on this because you always do some sort of stuff where you like triple charge my card because the system broke down and then you had to put it back in again because you were impatient going, must get the tickets now. Resubmit. Resubmit.
How about, how about I make this easy for us? I'll handle the tickets and you can just PayPal me the difference, the money back. How's that?
No, I like to get the points on my credit card.
Oh, okay. So I can't win in this scenario. There's really no way for me to win. This is
I
a
like to get the
Kobayashi Maru for me.
rewards. I like to get the rewards.
Okay.
My
Is that the
last
right
couple digits are 76 on my credit card, so you
Well,
must
then
be
you're gonna
using one of my old ones. Then it looks
you
like.
better send me the new one then.
Yeah, I think. How about I do that?
Okay.
So there was something else I'm going to go about this. There was an article that I saw, Bill, that was talking about who's going to be the next big bad after Thanos, and they gave a list of several villains. I don't know if you know all of the villains because I don't know if you're really steeped in comic book lore but I'll give you a list of the 7 that they have, and you can give me your thoughts as to who you think you would prefer or not prefer. Somebody else completely different. Because we do
Okay.
have the number 1 they have is Galactus, the world
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Did I lose you?
You did. You're back.
Oh, are you serious with this? What are you doing over there?
I'm waiting for you, and I'm like, you said Galactus, and I'm like, and then it went dead.
Galactus, the world eater.
Yeah.
Big purple helmet, floating through space, eating planets.
Yeah. I like Galactus. I like the Galactus Cloud.
Well, that's not a villain that's going to
I
work.
understand. I don't know how they would
That's a
make it.
movie of that's a villain of the week villain right there. That's not a nobody's going to get attached to a floating Galactus cloud in space as being an overarching big bad.
And you don't think they're going to get Snickers when they have a guy in a giant purple hat eating worlds?
Listen, everybody seems to love Thanos, and the first time you saw him was sitting in a chair in space floating.
He still looks like Grimace, but okay. Um,
All right, so you're not
something in the middle for Galactus.
okay. Number 2. One of my favorites, Doctor Doom, Victor Von Doom.
Yeah, Victor Von Doom is cool. I liked all the other Victor Von Dooms, so I don't have a problem with him.
Word on the street is that for the people out there behind the Fargo TV series, Noah Hawley apparently has a script out there.
Yeah,
Doesn't
that
know.
was a Fox property. Canceled.
You never know. Maybe they might have some interest in it, whatever else. But
They're
Victor
not
Von
going to
Doom,
introduce
go
the
ahead.
They're not going to introduce the Fantastic Four to the MCU with a Victor Von Doom movie. They're just not going to do that.
Okay.
Now
Well,
they might do it like interstitial between like major property movies maybe one day, but I wouldn't look for it right away. And besides, we're not going to get any X-Men or Fantastic Four movies for several years. So
okay. The problem with Victor Von Doom, why he's one of my favorite villains, he's local. I think he might have to have a villain that's sort of like universal out there on a different planet.
okay.
I think if you have a villain that's actually like based out of like Europe, then you just ask yourself, then why don't all the Avengers just get together and go over there and just wipe him out? Like that's not a difficult journey to make.
So you're saying he's not powerful enough?
I'm not saying he's not powerful enough, but it's one of those things like if you know he's existing and being a thorn in your side, then why don't you go take care of it?
It's the same reason why in Spider-Man Homecoming, the only hero that answers the call is Iron Man. Where the hell are the rest of the Avengers? It's the same reason as like why in a Captain Marvel movie or a
Right. What I'm saying, it's not going to work. It's not going to work this time around. If Doctor Doom's causing trouble and you have Thor, Captain America, Black Widow, you're not going to sit there and go, well, just one person's going to respond and we'll just do this 8 more times. So they find it like, we've all had enough. Now we're all going to go take him out.
So let me ask you this.
About sooner.
Speaking while we're on this whole like heroes aiding heroes tip, clearly they're going with some people are being killed off in Endgame.
Well, I don't know that.
Well, we know that.
We know that contracts are being killed off, but they could always redo contracts.
They could. I suspect in some cases they won't. I don't know, but we already know there's 4 movies coming that have none of those characters in them except Black Widow. So we know Black Widow is going to survive. We know Black Panther is going to survive. We know Spider-Man's going to survive or be reincarnated or whatever, time traveled back into existence. But there's still a question mark of Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, the Incredible Hulk, War Machine. I might be forgetting 1 or 2. Of those characters that, let's say, half are going to be removed from life, who would you prefer gets the chop?
What's the list that what's the list again?
Scarlet Witch, who we know is going to have a series on Disney Plus, so I would suggest he's probably going to live too.
Okay.
Scarlet Witch, Vision, War Machine, Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, the Incredible Hulk, Ronan.
Who would I prefer to get chopped?
Yeah, if you had to chop 3, or there's 8 characters I just named. If you had to chop 4 of those characters, how would you?
4 of those characters. I'm getting rid of Ronan because I'm super fan. Melissa's probably sitting here going, he's got this Channing Tatum hate for Jeremy Renner's character Ronan. So clearly,
yeah, I knew that was coming. Okay.
Number 1 with the bullet. Number 2, I'm not getting rid of the Hulk. You can always not getting rid of the Hulk. So I would be. See, the thing about it is, why would I get rid of Scarlet Witch? She just entered the world. So
You don't like her though. You don't care for her
I
character.
don't like her. I don't like her, but I'm just because I don't like her, I don't. I see some value. I would hate to sit there and go, "We introduced the character, we killed her off after a couple movies, and you don't have Scarlet Witch." Not unless you're going to bring her back in some other form or reincarnate her or something else. So I would feel kind of like gypped. It's the same reason when they killed off Quicksilver in Age of Ultron. Um,
Which,
I
technically
thought that
speaking,
was lame because you had Quicksilver, and all of a sudden, like he's there for half a movie and he's dead. That's a very popular character, and I just that's just a waste for me.
not anymore.
What do you mean?
So technically speaking, Quicksilver could be in there too. We know time travel is going to play some kind of part.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
And Ant-Man, I forgot Ant-Man and Wasp.
Bill, it's tough for me to sit there and say that because I would hate to get rid of any of the characters besides outside of Jeremy Renner Ronan. I can get rid of War Machine because War Machine can be replaced with anyone. So,
Okay, so
Jeremy
that's
Renner,
two.
what's that?
That's two.
That's two. I can't get rid of two more because I like all the rest of them. I mean, if I were to get rid of them, then I would just say it's just because it's you can't play the role forever, and it's just time to go and advance. But that's movie world. That's business movie world talking right there. That's not comic
In
book
world
world.
universe talking.
Yeah,
All right.
ink
All
world.
right.
I like
So
that. So, but I mean, if you're talking, I mean, that's why it's difficult for me. But I like those characters. But it makes sense to probably move on from Iron Man. Nobody wants to be paying Robert Downey, even though he's been a linchpin and helps out. Well, why wouldn't you not want to keep paying him? He's good at his job. He's good at the role. There's always a
he's
place for
also
Iron
like 50. And at a certain point, you want to have the old man have some fucking peace in his life, not fucking rolling around in his, granny panties trying to stop bad guys. Maybe it's time for him to take a break. Um, I could live without Iron Man, to be honest with you. I never really love. I mean, I get the appeal. I know he's very popular, but if you're asking me to chop four, Iron Man needs to go.
Man. Okay.
War Machine, yeah, take him with you.
Yeah, you're never a fan of Don Cheadle. You always
I'm
hate on the
not.
blacks. Okay, whatever.
Scarlet Witch, I get where you're like she's a little dishwatery, and I could survive without her too. So Scarlet Witch and probably Ronan. Scarlet Witch, Iron Man, War Machine, Ronan. Um,
See,
that's who
see,
I've got.
you're on my page. Different
I am.
reasons, different
Yeah,
reasons, but you're still like you know where the big guns are coming from. These people aren't big guns. I
right,
would be if they were bigger guns, it would be more difficult.
right.
Um, yeah,
So yeah.
that's tough. That's
Oh,
it's
we forgot Captain Marvel, but she's new, so we know she's not going anywhere.
oh yeah, she's not going anywhere. But
So I went back and watched it because I was on spring break this week. I went and saw Captain Marvel again to kill some time, and I do like the movie still. I have to say though, I think the problem for me with the movie is that there's too much talking, not enough fighting, except until the end of the movie.
yeah, the action is lacking.
Yeah,
And
and
when
I,
she finally starts doing something with her suit, and you see her like really working it, and you're just like, can we kind of put more of that into the film beforehand?
yeah, I think that that's a problem for me with the movie is that it's just not even as far as like
It's
the
like the
action
it's like the
goes.
setup film. We've got to get the origin out of the way, which
Right,
requires us to lay a lot of foundation.
right,
And then when we give you the second one, we don't have to do all that, so maybe we can give you more action. But it doesn't
right.
take away that we didn't get enough.
Yeah, I think that the movie could have used more action sequences, to be quite honest. So that's really my takeaway from the movie. I enjoyed it, but I think it was more of like a phase one movie than a phase 3.5 movie.
Hmm.
I mean, it doesn't compare to other more action oriented films in the series. So
Are you gonna cry when the Avengers movie when they start chopping off people?
I told you when Captain America dies, I'm going to cry.
Oh man.
That's probably the only one I'll cry for that I can foresee. But they might do it in a way that just makes me generally sad, and I might cry for another reason. But that's the
Can
only
I
reason I
film
can
it
see.
for YouTube?
I don't care.
You might be able to
I
go
have no
viral.
shame. I
Okay,
have no shame.
you might be able to go viral.
Yeah, because I care about that. But no, I don't. I mean, I'm invested, and if it moves me to, I tell you what, I finally finished my Gleeathon today, and 5 years later, that show still makes me weep like a little schoolgirl. I just love that show,
Okay.
and that finale, best finale ever.
Oh, that reminds me. Superfan Nadia, Supernatural. This will be the last season, 15th season upcoming.
15 fucking seasons. That's
Longest running
crazy.
show on CW going
Yeah,
to put.
but I'm surprised it's not the longest running show currently on the air. Well, that would be The Simpsons, I guess, but still.
Yeah.
15. Imagine if Buffy got 15 seasons. Don't you
Oh,
think it would get tired at the end of that?
well, it depends on how they do it.
15 years? I mean, that's a long time. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know if I want to see any TV show, Glee included, go 15 years long.
Isn't that where The Walking Dead is headed?
Yeah, which I quit watching in season 2, so I'm all the way out. So, oh, by the way, your show got renewed. Did you see that, Umbrella Academy?
Yeah, I saw that.
Or, well, you don't sound super.
I don't know if you call it my show. I watched the
You
show.
watched it?
Yeah. I'll probably watch the second season, but let's not call it my show. Okay, it's a show that
you watch. So therefore, it's your show because it's not my show because I don't watch it.
I don't want to claim it. I don't want people to be like, "Oh, that Payne likes Umbrella Academy."
Really? Who do you think is going to really be bothered by that? Really?
All right. Number 3 of villains, Annihilus.
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
He's more like he's like in charge of these creatures and these bugs. He has sort of like he's like an insect-looking robot that controls other bugs and creatures. I found the comic book story of Annihilus. It was like like a 4 crossover comic book event type of thing. I found it to be very underwhelming, but it seems to be popular in certain circles. Not my circle, but I find him to be a weak ass villain. Number 4, Supreme Intelligence.
That's the thing from Captain Marvel.
Yes.
I mean, Annette Bening didn't really seem all that threatening to me, but I guess there's things we don't know about her.
Yeah, I'm not really interested in that. That's one of the choices. Number 5, Queen Veranka. Varunka. Whatever.
All 3 or one of the others.
Yeah. She's Sybil. Anyway, she is the queen of the Skrulls.
Well, but I thought the Skrulls were in the MCU anyway. We've been led to believe that they are just a peace-loving nomad type civilization.
Yeah, sure. Maybe that's that one faction over there led by Bill Mendelsohn, but maybe there's a other faction that's like,
well, they did say that they've been spread throughout the galaxy. So
yeah, she's the one that's in charge and saying my race has been mistreated long enough, and it's time to take a pound of flesh, and we're going to invade Earth. Skrull stuff.
I think the Skrulls is a tricky thing if they were to make them evil in the MCU, or a certain faction of them anyway. I think it's tricky because then it becomes anybody could be a Skrull at any time. And if you introduce that, then you sort of lose like the glue that keeps your reality going because everybody could be a Skrull. Virtually anybody could be a Skrull.
Yes, you're right about that.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I wouldn't be a fan of that. There would be a lot of misdirection, and I would feel cheated as a viewer every time they would sit there and be like, "Oh, that person was killed." Because the first thing I'd be like, "That's they just didn't really kill off Captain Marvel." So we know
yeah, but the thing about it is, if the Skrulls are such an important or a popular or whatever villain in the comics, you can be sure that they didn't just introduce them in the MCU to be a nomadic group of peace-loving people. there's certainly more to the story than that we've already seen, and I would
I'm,
suspect they have larger plans for that
I'm sure you could have some sort
race.
of warlike scrolls, right? I mean, are they all born peace living, or can some people be like, I will find him? I mean, you could have your Zod faction, right?
Right. I imagine that we will find out more about the scrolls as time goes on. I don't
Yeah,
think that they just introduce them like that
but
for.
I think the you hit it on the nose for me. Part of it for me with The Walking Dead is who's that character? What's his name? Norman Lin Yu, whatever else.
The
He played in
Chinese
the
guy
yeah, the Chinese guy who
that
when
got
he
his
played
head
in the
bashed in?
what's that?
That got his head bashed in?
Yes, eventually, but they
Yeah.
played the misdirection where with him where you thought he was killed in the alley
Right.
and he was being pulled away, but it was what I felt like a cheap director a trick to make you think, but he wasn't dead, obviously. It was one of those things like I wasn't a fan of it. Um, and it's not necessary. Once again, I don't find it necessary for that show. It's like Game of Thrones. It's not necessary. The people are all going to watch it. You want good storytelling. You don't need to do cheap tricks to make me watch the next episode. The reason why you're the most popular show on there is because we like what you're doing in the material, not because you have to trick me into watching it. If we're going to give him a cliffhanger whether or not he's dead, I'm watching the show regardless. Okay, you don't need to do that, and I feel like it's weak. It's a weak storytelling trick, and I think with the scrolls, I would feel if they were to go that route, my concern would be all of a sudden we'd be having people killed left and right, and you'd be like, oh, the emotional impact would be lessened each time because you're like, are they tricking me? Is the person really dead? Right now, with the time stone, we're having that issue right now. Are they really dead or not? You don't know. You can bring them all back. And so that's the whole thing from listening to the impact of like, is Loki really dead? I don't even know. So I can't even sit there and mourn on it at this point. So I don't think I'm a fan. I think they have to be careful with how they play it. How's that?
Yeah, I agree.
You don't want to overuse that and go to the well too many times with that. Like, oopsie, that was just a scroll.
I agree, but I also think that
How many times are you going to do that before the people start getting like, okay, quit pulling my chain? Well, that's what the scrolls are. They're very tricky. You don't know.
I think the temptation to use those characters that are such a big part of the comic books, and the fact that they can give you, the dramatic weight of somebody dying. If they don't overuse it, I think it could be a good storytelling vehicle, or a good vehicle to keep people on the edge of their seats. But they have to be careful not to overuse it. I think it's also problematic, like you said.
How cool it would be that Pepper Potts was a scroll.
Not cool, because that would invalidate her entire relationship with Tony, which is my favorite relationship in the movies. So I wouldn't like that.
That whole love story goes, I'm just thinking of you as I nod off is going to be like, oh, you're thinking of a scroll, huh? That's scroll loving. We want some scroll love. All right,
Well,
number 6, somebody by the name of Kang.
I think I've
He
heard of this one too, but is it like a gorilla?
looks like a giant robot, still
Okay.
faced. And number 7, they have on this short list here Norman Osborn.
Done it. Been there. They need to move on from that character, which is, I think, what they're doing. So,
Okay, you're not interested in that. So we're really just left down to, for you, Doctor Doom then.
yeah, I like Doctor Doom.
Okay. Let's move on. I have to through my here, I'll give you some Star Wars news. I hear your boy Hamburger Face Mark Hamill now is going to be the voice of Chucky.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to make some
Now
money.
he, unlike Gal Gadot, is a good voice actor.
Yeah, okay. You're just not going to let it go with her in that cartoon movie, are you?
I'm just saying. Are you going to watch this remake of Child's Play?
No,
Did you
I'm
watch
not.
the original?
I believe I did. The whole
Um,
concept is just ridiculous.
Okay, you're not a fan. It's like Leprechaun for you. That's just not a
Yeah,
storyline. Bridge too
no,
far.
yeah. Are you gonna watch the new one? Of course you are.
Well, I'm not going to go to the theater and see
Well, duh. That would require putting you at gunpoint and like kidnapping all your loved ones and holding them in the trunk of a car before you would go.
uh, all right, let's go with some Netflix news here. So, word on the street, there is a Netflix show. I think it's called, what is it? Love, Death, and Robots.
I have heard of it, and it's directed by David Fincher or
Is
produced
it?
or something. He's got his hands in it somewhere.
I haven't watched the trailer for it. Maybe I should watch the
Why
trailer for
would you
that.
not watch that show? It's pumped out on your Netflix. I'm sure it was up at the top of your queue at some point.
I understand you. You like to think of me as a content whore, and
Yeah,
I just throw everything in the queue, like all comers, all welcome.
yeah,
You Gabby, you with the one leg over there, you with
yeah,
the blind eye.
yeah,
Yes, arthritic knees. I'll take you too, all of you.
yeah.
No,
You're
I didn't.
just you're a sloppy content hoe. Your content hole is just dripping with content.
I want you
That's
to
what you are.
know I don't add everything to the queue. I looked at it, I made a quick judgment call, and I moved on. It did not seem appealing to me whatsoever. I didn't even watch a trailer of it.
Now that the word David Fincher's in it, though, it does appeal to you.
Well, I may think I might have to give it a watch a trailer. What do you know about Love, Death, and Robots? Is there something that I need to know?
All I know is David Fincher's involved, and that it's supposed to be kind of cutting edge, like Animatrixy like.
Yeah, I never saw Matrix Animatrix to begin with,
Really?
and yeah, and I don't really care about cutting edge technology. What I care about is cutting edge storytelling. How about that? So I'm
Wow.
not going to
Okay.
be impressed with your James Cameron. Look, I can make people talk underwater with my new camera shit. I don't care.
First of all, those kind of cutting edges require budgets, and we know Netflix requires no such thing. So I wouldn't expect it to be cutting edge as far as like effects. I meant story,
Oh,
but okay.
that's true based on what you said earlier. So that being said, apparently on this show there was a rumor or allegation that Netflix, I guess there might be like 4 or 5 episodes, but based on your sexual preference, if you turned it on and started it, a certain episode came up. So
Yeah,
if you
we
were
talked about this, I think, last show. I don't
oh,
understand how they can tell
we did not
because
talk about the last show, but
we talked about it somewhere.
on the phone, which is what
Oh,
we
okay.
normally do. Podcast after dark.
We should probably sell those tapes out of a trunk of a car.
Oh
We'd probably
no,
make
there
money.
we be run out of town on those.
Um, okay, so I don't like the idea that Netflix
Now
presumes
they
that I
denied that. Netflix has denied it,
right.
obviously. But go
But
ahead.
but I just don't know. Do you care that Netflix thinks that you're gay, straight, whatever, based on the content of your viewership of them? Does that bother you in the least? Do you care at all?
I do care, and I care in the sense that I mean, I was as I was reading the article and another article on it, they were accused of this before with the same thing everything else does on the internet. You type in one thing, and next thing you know, your advertisements are populated with you know bar stool chairs that I typed in 5 months ago. I still get it popping up on things because all the cookies and everything else. Um, I understand that they keep track of data, my age, my race, where I live. Well, they saying they don't, but if they did, it wouldn't per se bother me. But if you're going to use the information to somehow make some sort of judgment calls as to what you think I might like, I think that would kind of tick me off, and it would be not cool. Now, if you saw me put in Alien and then put in Star Wars and Jupiter Ascending, and then you wanted to populate his list and say these are some things that you might like, which is what they do if you click on certain movies, then I'm fine with that. But I don't want you sitting there going, well, you're black and you're straight, so you're gonna like this show called, you know, Medea Comes to Town. I don't know, but I'm not cool with it.
I don't. I mean, so if I watch like Leaving Neverland, are they going to recommend like some other like Nambla documentary for me to watch. I mean, I
Well, if
don't
they would look that
know.
you clicked on leaving Netherland, then they would look at your profile and say that you were gay, and then they would sit there and extrapolate that you might like NAMBLA.
Yeah, see, like I don't care for that. I don't like it when they tell me other stuff I might like based on the shows I watch now.
I know.
I don't
I know
care
we
for that.
I don't mind it, but it's a weird thing. So they're doing this whole thing where they're trying to switch the episodes around. I don't get the
I don't
understanding
understand it
that.
either because aren't shows like I mean maybe they're not all like linear serial stories, but I mean
Well,
aren't shows supposed to be
well, it's like the
released in the order
Twilight Zone.
that the people?
Like the Twilight Zone, it's got like 4
Yeah, it's like an
episodes.
anthology, right?
Right, so they don't necessarily have to go in the same order. You can show one or show a different one. Doesn't
No, I think it should be released in the order that the people who made the show want it released in. Like, maybe they wanted you to feel or see a certain thing in episode 1, and then, from based on that feeling, that will lead you into episode 2. Based on that feeling, lead you into episode 3. I think it should be released based on the creators.
Well, Bill, we're from the Midwest, so maybe the episode regarding the farmer who can't get his corn to grow, maybe they should release that episode to us first because we might be able to relate to that.
No, I don't. That's a bridge too far for me.
Yeah,
I don't need that.
Yeah, it
I don't
sounds.
like it.
We don't like it. You have been judged. I can't say this. Netflix has fallen a little bit short for me on that one. I mean, they've denied all of this.
What? Netflix falling short for you?
They're falling short on that one. This is what I'm talking about, where you get too high up on the food chain, and then you start doing some shit like, yeah, let's just see what Payne is doing over there. Payne is clicking on Megan Fox stuff. Yeah, he likes Megan Fox. Let's put that out there.
What's next in your queue? Do you ever watch stuff on Amazon Prime?
Yes, I'm watching Hannah right now. I'm watching Hannah.
Is that a series?
The series on there right now. I also have The Widow with Kate Beckinsale on there, but I only watched half an episode. I watch a series called Catastrophe, which has the late Carrie Fisher in it that used to have her in there.
Don't they force you? I mean, from what I've watched on Prime, I have this one show, this Ryan Murphy show called The New Normal, which is about this gay couple that wants to have a kid. And it's old. It's like several years old, but I still like it. But anyway, when I watched an episode when it aired on TV, it was an NBC show. Like they used the very last second to continue the story. Like after the commercials and they're rolling the credits, they still have like a little bit of a story, like at the tail end of the episodes. And Amazon cuts off the episode every time because it's forcing me to watch the next episode like within 10 seconds of the episode ending that I'm watching.
Yes. Right.
I hate that. I hate that so bad.
Next episode starting in 10, 9,
yes.
8, 7, 6.
Yes. And it cuts off because the show is still going on. It cuts off because it goes like 10 seconds and it moves. So I end up like having to not watch the last few seconds of the show previous episode because it's forcing me into the next episode. I don't care for that at all. I mean,
it's hard to get out of that, by the way, because if you're sitting there going like this, "Ooh, I like this song. I just want to see what the credits are, what this song is." Nope, it's very hard to. You'll hit the wrong button, it'll just sort of immediately start the episode.
Yes, like, it's very irritating.
Try to go back to the old episode. It starts it from the beginning because you're like, "Oh, restart it."
Yes, and then I try to fast forward, and then I fast forward too much, and I'm back in the same exact spot. It's very, very irritating. I don't care for it at all. If I want to watch the next episode, I want you to let me press play, and then I will watch it. But as it is now, I don't want to watch Prime because I don't like that feature. I hate that feature. I think it's very irritating.
Oh, that's funny.
They're just trying to keep you glued to the tube. I get it, but damn it, give me a break. Horrifying.
Where was I going? I was saying something else before you interrupted me. What were we talking about? I'm like an old man. What were we just talking about?
What was happening? Who's on my medications? Who's got my pills?
It was something with Netflix.
Of
Was there some?
course.
What was it? What's it about Netflix? Come on. What was I just talking about?
I don't remember.
Episodes, watching Netflix. Somehow you asked me about Hannah.
Yeah. And I said, asked you, like, you watch stuff on Amazon, and you said Hannah. I don't remember.
Yeah,
Let's just move on.
but I was discussing with something with
It'll
Netflix.
come
Well,
back
that's
to you.
okay. Well, never mind. We're moving past that. Okay. There's a couple trailers coming out. Oh, here, before we get to those, I see that your boy Baz Luhrmann is doing another movie. Here, I'm throwing you a bone right here.
I saw that. It's
He's
a
going to be
biopic.
starring having Tom Hanks star as the guy who found Elvis.
Right. Now, if you asked me
I
if
think they
this
call the
particular
term is
subject matter,
biopic. Go
yeah,
ahead.
if you asked me if this particular subject matter is something I'm dying to see Baz Luhrmann interpret, the answer would be no. But the fact that Baz Luhrmann is doing something cinema oriented means I'm automatically obligated to go see it. And hopefully
Yeah.
it'll be, more interesting than it seems on the surface. As in Baz Luhrmann movies usually are, it's not just going to be a straight biopic, okay? It's going to be some other shit with some dancing and some crazy kooky shit happening with the Elvis guy.
Is going to be a gayopic? Is that what it's? Was that the term?
I don't
Gayopic?
know. I don't know. Whatever it is, if Baz Luhrmann poops in the phone book, I'm going to see it.
Yeah, that's hilarious. He's got that Netflix money. He's just like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do a Elvis piece right over there. So you don't like
It's not even
Elvis's
about
music?
Elvis. It's
You
about
don't like
Elvis'
you
manager.
don't like Elvis music? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying it's not even about Elvis. It's about Elvis's manager, which, I'm going to do a biopic about the janitor who works at my school building. Oh, I don't know if I'm
Well,
going to
he's
necessarily
gonna
run to
be
that.
in this. He's gonna be in the county fair, and Elvis is gonna come on the stage and start shaking his hips. I mean, there's gonna be lots of Elvis music. You can't have an Elvis
Yeah.
biopic without the Elvis music.
Yeah, okay. I mean, first of all, I'm not a huge Elvis fan, but again, if Baz Luhrmann's directing it, I have to see it. I mean,
Okay,
you know,
no, that's fine. I'm not way with Neil Marshall, so you
I'm
know.
just glad that Baz Luhrmann is finally doing another movie. It's been several years. The last time was when we had our engagement dinner. We went to go see The Great Gatsby since he's released a movie. So it's about time.
Okay. Um, here we go. There is this here. I'm going to segue into this. Well, I guess I could go with Amazon. You know, Amazon's got that Lord of the Rings series coming. They also have the Dark Tower series, and they've cast two people to star. They got the guy for the gunslinger. They have Sam Strike, who starred in Sci-Fi's Net Flyers, and Jasper Paconi, Piconi, Paconi, Pacani.
Okay.
He he starred in Black Klansman. He will be playing the Man in Black, also known as Randall Flagg. So they have their two leads cast. I didn't care for that Sam Strike and Net Flyers, but I think that was really based on the material and the direction that he had in there. I found his character to be weak, but they have the two people cast.
What
Are
network is
you
this going to be on?
Amazon?
We'll see how the
Amazon's
Lord
got
of the
some
Rings.
good shit. They got some big worlds going over there. They got Lord of the Rings. They're doing this Dark Tower world. I think they got another something else coming. Are you interested in
I
watching?
believe they're doing. No, it's Netflix that's doing the Narnia series. Um,
Are they going to have a budget for the Narnia series?
yeah, let's hope.
It seems like that's
Um,
necessary if you're going to be doing that one.
I know. I mean, it's kind of required, right?
Okay.
This might be one where I wait and see what your opinion of it is,
Okay. That's
or I'll wait and see the quality of Lord of the Rings, the series, before I decide. Because Amazon is not a proven track record for me. Like they haven't done anything that I've seen that I thought, oh, that's the shit. So I don't know.
you know that's funny you mentioned that because they have a series on there. I think it's called Britannia, Amazon Prime. And you know, since I had there's a show on Netflix called The Last Kingdom.
Hmm.
It's got about 3 seasons of it, and I'm a Game of Thrones fan. So after watching Game of Thrones, I tried The Last Kingdom on Netflix. Love the series, Bill. Think it's a great series. I would argue to say it's underrated, under advertised. It's just something that you should watch. I think the storytelling and the actor that plays the lead, um, Uther Ragnarsson, is just very cool. I wish I knew his real name. Either way, I decided to give Amazon Prime's Britannia a shot since it seemed to have those combination of elements that I liked.
Yeah.
And I maybe got one or two episodes, and I'm just like, this is some weak shit. And so part of it, I was just thinking, what you're saying right there, not a proven commodity for me.
Right.
Like
Right.
of what they're doing here. It's not like somehow, when HBO at the time, I understand they're under new management, dropped the show, there was certain quality, like you would say with Pixar, associated with it. That, it might not be your wheelhouse, but it's going to have a lot of elements that it's known for. And I think with Amazon Prime, there's been probably a lot more. I don't even want to say misses. It's just not for me. Um, because some of that stuff is popular with people. But okay,
Why are
I hear
you
what
so
you're saying.
sure that the HBO turnover in management is going to be such a bad thing for the network? You seem to like have damned them before you even give them a chance to like get in their executive offices and make some decisions.
Damned who?
HBO.
Yeah,
Why are
yeah,
you
I
so
am.
sure that this is a bad thing?
Yeah, they're bringing in people that are going to sit there and start counting the beans and going like, "Listen, I understand we only do one show every year. We now need to amp that up to 15." That's exactly what it is.
Well,
We're going to go with
that's
like
isn't
we're
that
going
going
to
to give
flood
you?
the market like Netflix, which the whole point of the matter is Netflix will have 50 shows on there, and maybe two or three actually might be quality, and the rest will just be sort of middling, if not crappy. So if that's the formula that you think that's going to get people just to show up and buy it, that's fine. But I think you lose some cachet with me. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
I
they're
think you
what if
tarnish the
they're
brand. I think you tarnish the brand a little bit. I mean, Pixar comes out with what is it? One movie every few years or whatever else. It
right?
has
Well,
that known quality to it. If I told you that we're getting rid of the head of Pixar and we're just bringing in some other guy who goes, you know what? We just can't do this. We need to pump it out. We need to get Incredibles 3, Toy Story 7. We need to just hurry up and pump out these three
oh,
toys.
I like it. I like where you're going with that. Um,
Yeah.
but
You like it now until all of a sudden you start watching and that shit's like the good dinosaur. Okay. All right.
I'm just saying, what if they want to give you the same quality, just up the the level of it, like up
That
the
remains to be
frequency
seen
of it?
that that's possible. If everybody could give the same quality, then why weren't they doing it before?
I don't
Okay.
know.
I think, well, it's easier said than done. Okay. As you said, not everybody's trying to make a loser show, right? They're all trying to make quality, but then a lot of them seem to wind up in the dustbin. So,
I don't know. I think that HBO's mandate was that they start producing more frequent shows and more numbers of shows. I don't know if that necessarily always equals quantity, always equals negativity, but I understand your concern.
okay. We'll give it a shot. I look forward to them doing something and turning it on and then calling you up on the phone and going, mm-hmm. And then you're going to say to me, because I know how this conversation goes with you, it's just one show. It's just one show. Okay. And then the second show is going to suck. And then you're going to sit there and just like, well, just get rid of your HBO then if you're not happy with it. That's the way you'll end the conversation.
All of these
It,
things.
it won't be, you were right. The new brass and new executive HBO's brass seems like they're just whores and they're terrible. It won't be that. It'll just be like, you don't like their two shows that they released, just get rid of it then.
It seems to me like if you're frustrated, don't be like a basic bitch fanboy who just all they want to do is like bitch about like how bad things are. Here's what you do. Instead of wasting your time butting your head up against a wall that's not making you happy, do something that makes you happy. If HBO no longer makes you happy, switch to Showtime.
No, I'm gonna run them out of the business like that Kevin Tashahari over there at Warner Brothers. That's what's gonna happen. Anyway,
Right.
this new article here with Disney, I love the title of it. This is why I'm going over this article. It's called Disney Fox combined film calendar is a box office Death Star.
Yes, I sent that to you.
Oh, you
I
sent that
know.
to me?
I
Are you
did.
sure?
I'm 100%
Maybe I sent
sure.
it to myself, and then you sent it to me after I sent it to
That's
myself.
possible, but I'm just saying I also read this article.
The, Disney's remaining calendar for the year: Dumbo, March 29th; Disney Nature's Penguins, April 17th; Avengers Endgame; Toy Story 4, June 21; The Lion King, July 19th; Artemis Fowl, August 9th; Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, October 18th; and Frozen 2, November 22nd. The Fox calendar includes a film called Breakthrough, April 17th; X-Men spinoff Dark Phoenix, oh boo, hiss;
Wow.
Struber, July 12th, never heard of it; and New Mutants, which that probably won't ever see the light of day. And then Spies in Disguise, voiced by Will Smith and Tom Holland, September 13th. The Disney share of the movie market is 26%. Obviously, I think we said before that that's going to go up. Their shit's just going to be box office gold.
If it's, in other words, if you're not Disney or Fox, get the hell out of the way.
Move out of the way.
Yeah.
I like to take August 4th. No. We're
Nope.
releasing our shit up. Can I do August 12th?
Nope.
Nope.
Right?
Can you just give me a list of the weeks available to us? Sure, we can do that.
How about we start with 2027? That might be a good time for you to start looking into your shit. So, yeah. I know that you're not necessarily a fan of the, what do I want to say, combination of companies, because you think it's all going to end up in some singular voice that you might not necessarily like.
Absolutely.
But I'm down with it. I'm totally down with it.
The Mouse House is large and in charge. Are you feeling Artemis Fowl? Is that what
I'm not feeling Artemis Fowl. I saw the trailer and it didn't really do anything for me, and I, of course, never read the books. So, I mean, I'm not seeing everything that Disney releases this year. Dumbo, I didn't bother to see that. I'm curious when we get to box office what it did this weekend, actually.
Okay. There was a couple. Speaking of box office, there's a couple trailers that dropped out. I mean, did you ever end up watching the Stranger Things season 3 trailer?
I did, and I loved it. I thought it looked great. I really did.
Okay.
Very
I
exciting.
had the opposite. Do you recall what was great about it for you?
Just that whole like 80s kids movie vibe that we sort of like grew up with. It gave me that feel. The group of kids that honestly I have grown attached to over the couple of seasons, and they're like misadventures and stuff. I just thought like, oh, this will be a real fun summer series. So yeah, I think I'm down.
I had the opposite take on that. I
Right.
think when I saw the creature, I feel like the creature has grown old for me.
Yeah,
Their
I'm
big
not there for
bad.
so much the creature. That wasn't really
And I
a thrill
understand
for
maybe
me.
that's not the draw. It's the interaction of the people, if you
Right.
will.
For me, yeah.
But I think what they were showing me, I was kind of over that whole American Graffiti shit going on right there. I get the 80s vibe. I was fine with it, but I'm looking for more an advancement of the big bad and the kids themselves. Why I like it seemed kind of corny and cheesy to me. I'm not sure I'm really down for their adventure.
I just don't understand you sometimes. I mean, you loved those kids in season 2. You were like, I'm really feeling this vibe with these kids and the black kid and that girl that was like his like pseudo girlfriend or whatever. You were like down with that. And see, this is what happens every time you see something. 6 months later, it's always like this. And I wasn't really. It's like I can't really go back to it or anything.
I'm saying it will be watched in our house because my woman likes Stranger Things.
Oh, cool! I'm glad to hear that.
So we'll be watching season 3, regardless of my opinion of it. But I'm just saying the trailer necessarily didn't get me excited for season 3. Like I'm like, oh, I can't.
I
wait
have to say, of all the trailers I've seen for this series or all the seasons I've watched, this one to me looks like the most exciting.
You know what? That makes sense. It's the yin and yang of us. I've
Yeah.
sat there and don't like it, and you're like, I love it. Of course you do. I should have known as soon as I sat there. I'm like, it's not for me. I should have sat there. I'm like, this is the crap that Bill's gonna like. That's what I should have said. I should have known. We also had Quentin Tarantino drop a trailer for his Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I believe it's called, starring
Yeah.
Brad Pitt and Leo DiCaprio.
Now that
Um,
one didn't thrill me.
okay. Do you know what it's about?
Based
I
on
think
that trailer, no.
I think it's about an an actor and his stunt double trying to make it big or something else like that. I think I saw
So
a
it's sort
line.
of like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
I guess so. The trailer didn't do anything for me either, Bill. I was very underwhelmed. And I feel as though when I'm watching it, I'm actually watching Brad Pitt and Leo DiCaprio as opposed to the characters that they're supposed to be playing.
I know.
Um, um, so I'm not a fan of that. And not to mention, I'm also still fighting um, the belief that the movie was going to be sort of a story of Charles Manson, even though it's set during that time, but it's not necessarily about Charles Manson. Um, that's where I thought the story was going to go. But this has to probably be the Quentin Tarantino movie number 9 that seems to be the most underwhelming in terms of trailer.
Yeah,
I,
I mean,
I can't recall when we watched the Hateful Eight trailer. We were
I
cool
think
for
it
that.
was more. Yeah, I think it was more what I expected from a Quentin Tarantino movie. Look, I'm not gonna not see this movie. I'm going to see this movie. It's based on ninth movie by Quentin Tarantino versus the trailer content for me. So if you're asking me if I didn't know it was directed by Quentin Tarantino, would I give a fuck? The answer is no.
Yes, absolutely.
But I do know it's directed by Quentin Tarantino, so ticket. I'll take one, please. Thank you.
Sir, you know this is not about Charles Manson in that story, right?
Well, I know it's like circling that story. It's like somehow tertiary element to the story. So
Oh, look at you. Bill's waking up. You're using the word tertiary. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
so yeah, like I said, it's got Quentin Tarantino's name all over it. I'm there.
Do you have any trouble spelling as you get older?
No.
I have trouble with words now, and I just, I think it's
Now?
probably because we have
When weren't you having trouble with words?
with spell check. I'll just look over my woman like spell tertiary. She'd be like
Well, that's a tough one, but still.
I'm just like, oh, sometimes I just like my mind doesn't work as well as it used to in terms of those words.
Wow.
But anyway.
Really? Are you having like early onset dementia? What the fuck's going on over there?
I hope not. There's an article. Did you see that there's what is it? Movie Pass. There is a new player out in the business. I want to say it's called like Cinema.
No, it's called Adam Tickets is doing their own subscription service.
Yeah, there's another one. I
Called.
think it's called Cinema with an S.
Okay.
And they're supposed to be doing a package for $15.99 a month. You can see a movie a day.
First of all, I like these subscription services. Like I said, I just joined our Cinemark so that when like we go see Shazam, one of the tickets I got for that was already paid for because I paid for the subscription. You get one free ticket a month or something like that. That I understand. It's $8.99 a month plus you get 20%. Look, I sound like a commercial for Cinemark, but you get 20% discount on concessions. This is like the package I get. I don't understand who wants to see 3 movies in a week. Who has time? I don't even have a life, and I don't have time to see that.
I don't know. I can't. I'm assuming it has to be for college students who actually should be going to class and learning shit, or retired folks. But even then, I don't think the retired folks.
Even if I was retired, are there 3 movies a week that I really want to see?
Oh no,
I don't know.
No, absolutely not.
I think it's just I don't know. I get the subscription service plan, but I don't understand why you would need to pay that much. They should have like a lower tier plan.
If you want to go to a movie a weekend, if that's your whole thing, like, hey, I go to a movie a weekend, you certainly get your money's worth.
Yeah, absolutely. But then again, you're not getting your money's worth if you don't use all 3 movies in a week, and therefore you're throwing some of your money away. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like the Cinemark thing because also if you don't use the ticket in the month, it rolls over to the next month. So at some point we're going to have a break here this year. Like we've got like a 5-month break between Spider-Man and Star Wars.
But then how come we haven't had any tickets roll over? How come can't we
I
be
just
using our?
joined it. I just joined.
Why didn't you join sooner? You joined, so I
Really?
don't get to reap any of the benefits here.
No, you will. It's just going to take probably till Star Wars before we will.
Okay. There is a article out, and this will be my last story, Bill, and we'll wrap this up here. A story about subscription fatigue. Um, you were talking about Apple coming out with its new service and everything else like that. And this article posits out there, theorizes that, however you want to do surveys, Gallup polls, or however you want to figure it out, that 47% of the people, streaming video subscribers, feel there are now too many services out there, too many choices, too many ads, and too many monthly fees. Superfan Melissa will be fully cutting the cord upon her next entry into a new home. The thing about it is, do you feel like we're heading to subscription fatigue at some point here? I mean, I was all for the a la
I
carte
saw.
items, but now it seems there's so much now. There's so much, and
I saw a tweet.
Go ahead.
I saw a tweet the other day. I was going to send you. Let me see if I can find it. I think I took a photo of it. Hold on. But basically, the gist of the tweet is, I'm so glad I cut off my cable service so that I don't have to pay like exorbitant amounts of money. I simply can't cut the cord and wait. I can't wait to cut the cord and simply subscribe to Netflix, Disney Plus, Apple TV, Prime Video, HBO Go, Starz, Showtime, Cinemax, Hulu, ESPN Plus, YouTube TV, and Sling TV. This will finally help me reach my goal of becoming a minimalist. So yeah.
I haven't. I mean, since AT&T Uverse was such a sleepy, a greedy hog, greedy little pig.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'll ever reach that number, what I was paying. But I find with
never say never.
Yes, with some of these services coming out, it's. I can see where it's going here because Apple Plus, you're going to be having Steven Spielberg drop some exclusive content. Part of it is you're just like, oh, I mean, I want to watch the show, but then you're going to start playing that game of going, well, we're going to only release one episode a week, so I'm going to have to subscribe to you at least for 3 months for that season. And if you're smart enough, you'll have that extra episode in there, like, 13 episodes, so I'll have to roll over into the next month.
Right. I don't know.
I'm hoping we can
honestly, it's helping me. The idea that there's going to be all these different subscriber shows or subscriber networks to get memberships to, it sort of helps me be pickier about, I don't want to say superhero burnout, but there are some of these shows that I just don't necessarily feel are necessarily important for me to watch. And there's going to have to be, for me to pay $9 a month or $10 a month or whatever they're going to charge for it, it's going to have to be a show that I really feel is worth my time, or that will keep my interest over multiple periods of time. Cloak and Dagger is the first MCU show that I just didn't even participate in. And that's sort of going to make it, and I honestly don't miss the show. Like, I don't know what's happening on that show, and I don't see how it affects my appreciation of the MCU at all, because I don't think it's, really, what do I want to say, impactful on the universe of the movies. But when they do these Disney Plus shows and they're produced by Marvel Studios, and Kevin Feige has said they're going to be essential viewing for MCU people, then what is he going to say?
Essential viewing. What he's going to say? It's optional, of course. Everything's essential. That's fine. I got it.
So, but I'm just saying, like stuff like Umbrella Academy and stuff like Doom Patrol, like I'm not feeling the pressure. Like, we're finishing up Gotham because I'm just like can't wait till the last 3 episodes are done so I can be done with the show. But I'm going to start being a little bit more selective as far as like just because it has a superhero in it doesn't mean I have to watch it, especially if I'm going to have to pay $10 a month for it.
I know.
But that's a good thing because that helps you, weed out the wheat from the chaff. If it's
But part
not
of it
something,
is you don't even know if it's chaff just yet until you watch an episode or two. You might want to try it out, but
if they give me a 7-day free trial and I watch one episode and I think it's enjoyable enough, I don't know. I mean, I could probably name on one hand the amount of shows that I thought, were after the first episode enough for me to continue watching. I don't know. I think it's going to help cut down on my like, and also cut down on my selection, but that's okay.
that's a great tweet. I'm so glad I
Yeah,
can just start saving money. I just have to subscribe to what do I have?
everything.
I have Shudder, I have HBO, I have Hulu, I have Netflix, I have Amazon Prime.
And then
Um,
you're going to have to get Apple Plus. And what about ESPN? Do you have ESPN Plus?
I don't.
And Disney Plus it's kind of like a necessity, I think.
Does PlayStation View count as a service?
Well, you pay
Yeah,
for it, right?
yeah, PlayStation View. So I should probably add up all my services and what I'm seeing charged.
I will laugh if it's more money than you paid when you had Uverse. I will just laugh at you.
Um, I'm looking at my phone, which has all my TV apps on it, and no, I've named them all. So that's it. I don't have Universe, or what is that? What do you call that?
DC Universe. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you cancel that subscription or did you buy it?
I bought it again, but now I'm ready to cancel it again because I'm not watching Doom Patrol, and that's the only thing that's on.
Why are you not watching Doom Patrol? Because I just heard it just started.
No, I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. Again, it gets down to these like D-level hero shows where it's just like, are there going to be anything interesting about this show? Like, are there something to keep my viewing interest?
That's exactly it, Bill. That's exactly it. Because I sat there and I knew that Doom Patrol was on your list. And then I saw something, I looked at the article, and the first thought that came to my mind was just the thoughts that you just articulated was, if I want to watch, is there going to be something interesting about Doom Patrol? Like, is there a
Or are they
bigger
all just a
mystery to
bunch of
this?
kooky castle people?
Yeah, I need something more than
And I'm
just
telling
that.
you, after Titans, I'm not really super enthused about the DC Universe network TV thing. Um, I just didn't like Titans. I
Now,
will
wait a
not be
second.
watching Titans too.
You don't think you'll be watching Titans too?
I won't be. I can tell you right now. My husband's going to
Oh,
be on.
that's some bullshit there. I'm not paying for it. I want to watch Titans too. You're gonna have to. You gotta come up to some money. You better be watching that Doom Patrol. If I need
you
to send you
know,
some articles that say
really,
Doom Patrol is a game changer, then I'll do it. I'll find those articles.
Titans 2 will eventually come to Netflix. Like Titans 1 is on Netflix now, right?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just saying, I didn't enjoy it, and I don't think I'll be watching the second season.
Okay. You ready to
But
wrap
did
this
you also hear that DC Universe now is going to be putting all the entire comic catalog of DC on their service?
I saw. I didn't click on the article, so that's
Yeah.
what they're planning on doing. Their whole entire comic book catalog.
Yep.
That's interesting.
I mean, if I read comics, that would be an appeal to me, but
That is kind of appealing. Part of it is, I don't want to be like the old man, get off your lawn, and part of it is, I know you read the Entertainment Weekly on your tablet or your phone.
right.
I'm really like a paper person on that, like with the comic book
Oh, old
and the
man.
magazine. Like I haven't transitioned over. It's like you with the flip phone. You think it's fine until you get it, till you get the smartphone. I
Uh-huh.
haven't transitioned over to where I'm like, I'm
But you
just
don't
not
even
comfortable.
you don't read comics anymore. I mean, you don't have polls
Well, I
anymore.
don't,
So
but even if I wanted to go back and pull something up, are they going to be having new issues released on this comic or just
I
old
think
issues?
they said it's going to be everything up within a 6-month period. So like they're going to have anything older than 6 months that they've ever released on there.
Well, that's kind of cool then, because
Are you there? Are you there?
That's a great
Hello?
way to. Hello?
You just cut out for like a minute. Say that again.
I'm just saying, if I don't go to the comic book store,
Right.
this would be a great opportunity to catch up some of their new stories or the new directions that they're going with their heroes. I love that idea. I didn't,
Well,
you're gonna have to get the DC subscription then. That's just
I
something.
have it. I'm just not using it.
Okay. How much does it cost?
$8 a month.
Oh, that's nothing to you. That's like a
Really?
Chipotle. That's one Chipotle.
When M. Night Shyamalan releases a show on Apple Plus and I have to buy that and then I have to buy Disney Plus, it's going to be different. It's going to be adding up. This shit's going to add up.
Oh, that's so ridiculous. We went from trying to cut the cord and save money, but yet it looks like the business is screwing us. They're like, okay, you want a la carte items? We'll give you a la carte. Here you go. 10,
Yeah, well,
15, 5, 10, 8.
right? So I don't know. CBS All Access might be the next thing to get the chop to because I don't watch the soaps anymore either.
Oh. All right, you ready for Box Office Mojo?
Sure.
Box Office Mojo. March 29 to the 31st. Yeah, this is the end of March. Was it Out Like a Lion, In Like a Lamb? Is that what it is?
It's tomorrow, April 1st. Tomorrow's April Fool's Day.
April 1st, yeah. April Fool's Day, indeed. I could release the show on April 1st, or I could just release it. This might be our third show for the month of March. I have to check and see what our megabytes are. We're on a megabyte restriction.
Are we?
Yeah, we might not be able to release it to March 1st, depending on how long this show is. But we'll see.
Okay.
While we're doing the Box Office Mojo, I need you to come up with a title. For the number one movie in its opening week, Buena Vista, The Mouse House, Dumbo, 2019, $45 million.
Oh, that's not a flop.
Mm-hmm. It made $71 million overseas. So.
Well, that's good to know that they haven't ruined their whole year getting off to a bad start because this is the year of Disney after all.
Yeah.
So
part of it is I feel with some of these things they're like family movies, Bill.
They are.
Dumbo is like a classic, and if you're
so
American,
the Nutcracker. See what happened to that movie.
Well, that Nutcracker looked like that was not something I would take a child to. That didn't have that child appeal to it. When I saw the trailer,
okay,
it seemed a little bit out there. But Dumbo's a classic story. That's one of those things. If you're going to have a young kids, why would you not take your family and kid to see Dumbo? Like family friendly.
It looks. Did you ever see Dumbo, the original?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a tear fest.
Does Dumbo die at the end?
No, but I think his mother does.
Ugh. What's with Disney? We're not going to discuss that.
They tug at the heartstrings. That's their shtick.
Yeah. Okay. Well, does this count as a hit for Colin Farrell?
Wow, that's all you care about, right? Yes, it counts.
I mean, he finally got his weasel his way into something. Like he's going to probably try to jettison this into something else, and I'm sure the studios are going to be like, Colin Farrell's a leading man. He was just in Dumbo. People went to see Dumbo for Colin Farrell. Now they're going to try to do Total Recall, the reboot, and put him in there again or something. Let it go. Colin Farrell is not a A-lister. Never will be. Quit trying to put him in that category. He is a bit player. Stay in your lane. The number 2 movie, as you guessed it, Bill's a hater. Hater is Us. In its second week, pulling in $33 million, bringing its grand total, domestic and worldwide, to $174 million on a $20 million budget. It's made $128 million in the U.S. alone. Us in the U.S. has made $128 million in 2 weeks. Can you say big money, big money, big money, big money?
Yeah, good. I mean,
that's good returns, Bill. You can't go wrong with that.
I can't. I'm not arguing with the success. I'm just saying it's not for me.
I mean, you can sit there and say Jordan Peele can make a whole bunch of other movies for $20 million if that's the type of return you're giving it to us. I mean,
sure, and I'm sure he's emerging as a powerful voice in today's Hollywood. Absolutely. I think more power to him. Maybe one day he'll direct something that appeals to me. This isn't it.
Sure. Number 3 movie in its 4th week of release, Captain Marvel, pulling in another $20 million. It looks like it's about to hit the $1 billion mark. It's at $990 million worldwide.
Yeah, it's going to make $1 billion.
So it seems anymore like just getting to $1 billion now. Pretty soon, that's just going to become. If you want to be, it's going to be standard.
Yeah.
Before that was like that's hitting the, the billion. Now it's going to be. Well, Captain Marvel hit $1 billion. It's got to be 2 billion, maybe 2 billion, $1.5 billion. Maybe that's the mark.
It's going to happen probably very sooner than you think. Endgame will probably be the first $2 billion movie, I imagine.
Well, they're saying it's opening week. I saw one article say $880 million, $800 million.
Yeah. We're going to end up having to sit next to some people that we don't want to sit next to.
And by the way, I know you hate it when I go over this, but it follows Payne's formula. I mean, that's essentially what it is. You had Avengers Infinity War, whatever its opening week was. Now, all of a sudden, this movie here, the follow-up, if it's just as exciting as the first, what do you expect? You're going to have more eyeballs and more people running to the screen to see it.
This is low-hanging fruit.
You have increased interest based off of a hit. You don't have a lower number because you would think you would have more people excited and more people incensed about seeing it. It's Payne's formula.
No, it doesn't, because it doesn't always work.
Yeah, right. So if Avengers Infinity War made $750 million in its opening weekend, and then Avengers Infinity Endgame comes in and makes $500 million, is that people are not going to be disappointed? Because they would expect it to at least do equal, if not greater than?
How do you explain Avengers Age of Ultron not making as much money as Avengers 1 then?
Yeah, because it wasn't good. It wasn't exciting. That's exactly it. That's the reverse of it. You didn't have. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. That's the problem. That shows you that the point of the matter is it shows you that there is a weak. The second, if it was less than the first, it shows you that the excitement was less, or people were not intrigued or invested in it. That's what it points out to it.
Okay.
It says it right there. That's why if you have a hit and people are excited for it, then I would expect you to do bonzo numbers for it coming out there, because we're all going to be on board, even so more. We're all ravenous for it. And so if you had that same crowd that was ravenous for the first one, you would think they would be just as ravenous if the shit looks good the second time
So
around.
what are you going to predict? Because the trailer, I believe, is coming out for the final Star Wars film in the Skywalker story, whatever that's called, Episode 9. Is going to be out the week of the 13th to the 15th. Oh, wait, I'm looking at the wrong week.
With that one right there, what you have is it's a Star Wars film. So it's always going to make money. That's one. The two, it'll be how much it makes is always the indicator for me. Because, making $500-700 million, I don't look at it as being like, duh, it's Star Wars. The question is, it's got you're going to have J.J. Abrams back. So the debacle that you had from The Last Jedi, the split camps, if you will, and all the controversy or difference of opinions, I think that could all go to the wayside if you sit there and go, we have J.J. Abrams back, and you have this trailer that sort of knocks it off. It'll help people get back on board. Because if you have The Last Jedi people who like the movie and love Force Awakens, they're not going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. They're
but
going
The Last Jedi,
they're going to see the third one, Bill. There's no question about it. So the people that you pissed off and lost. The question is, are they going to be excited to go back after the disappointment of Last Jedi? They might sit there and be like, well, I'll go see the movie, but this weekend I'm going to go get a pedicure and a manicure, so maybe I'll see it next week. You don't have that enthusiasm to be like it's must see. But if the trailer somehow blows you out of the water, then you might be able to get those people back on board and get them in the seats for the first week. But
the rumor, have you heard the rumor title? Because there's a title rumor out there that's got kind of like a lot of steam rolling behind it.
Oh, is the title "We're Not the Last Jedi"?
No. Wow. Ouch. No, the title is Star Wars Episode 9 Skywalkers.
Well, that's a
That's
badass
the
title.
rumor.
Well, that's a
Well,
badass title, but what Skywalkers are left?
Ray, perhaps?
If it's plural, then that would imply there would be more. Then right,
I guess.
as
I
opposed to
don't know.
just saying Skywalker. So
Well, you can bet that Luke will be back in Force Ghost form. That's a kind of gimme. Princess Leia is still alive in the movie, if you recall. So
well, that's a cool ass title. If you call it Skywalkers, that's a badass title.
okay,
So I think, but I think it's all going to hinge on the trailer. The thing about it is, you're going to get the people to go see the movie. It's just going to be about the excitement level of the first week. I think when you have like an Avengers Endgame and they're thinking about 880 million, what does it say to you? That the people are excited to see it right away. There's no waiting. We all want to
first
see
of
it
all,
first week.
the first one was a massive hit. It was also probably quality-wise the best movie they've ever released in their entire 20-movie saga.
What are you
Third
talking
of all,
about? For who?
Infinity War.
Infinity War. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Third of all, it is the capper of 22 film saga that's never been heard of before in the universe of cinema. So they've got
Absolutely.
a confluence of factors that are making it essential viewing for everybody on the fucking planet.
Absolutely.
It's the closest thing we have.
Which is why you would expect it to do more money than the last one.
Well, right. I do expect it to.
You don't expect it to do equal money. That's the thing about it is you look at it, you go like this. Well, this was this is the ending movie for all of these movies, the Avengers: Infinity War. It's not going to do equal. It's going to do more money than that. So where all the new people come from then? All of a sudden you're dragging out more people. Where were the new people for Avengers: Infinity War if it makes $1.5 billion and then this movie comes out and makes $2 billion? You've got increased people going to see it and more fans. It generates more eyeballs to the screen. It's not going to even. It's not going to play even. It's not going to do $1 billion and 4.2. It's knocking it out of the park.
I expect it will.
I would expect that somehow the Skywalker's movie to do more. And if Last Jedi wasn't such a middling thing, the way
I don't know what.
happened,
How about we just say
well, I'm not saying middling. I'm just saying in terms of the way it was received. I mean,
Okay.
I'm just saying that's the stigma on it. Some people liked it, some people didn't. Okay, you didn't have that with The Force Awakens. You had a little bit more, shade
Enthusiasm.
thrown at The Last Jedi.
Right.
And so with the third one, you would think if you're reaching the end of this and your whole series started out strong, if The Force Awakens came out strong, you would think you would build momentum as you go along. I mean, that's the whole idea.
What
You
kind
don't
of
have
year?
less people. You don't have less people go see the last movie than the Force Awakens unless somehow the people lost interest. That's the only thing you would say to yourself. If you have less people going to see Skywalkers at the end, your only thing you can conclude is that somehow people have lost interest. Would you not? What else would you conclude that to be? It didn't make as much money as
Burnout,
Force
Star
Awakens.
Wars. Well, I mean, lost interest, but you can give it to many. You can attribute many.
You can
factors
call it what you
why.
will. They didn't put more people or equal number of people into the seats for whatever reason.
What kind of a year is Disney having in which they're releasing The Lion King? Now, just think about this.
Okay.
Endgame, which is going to be the biggest movie of the year, no doubt. Maybe, because Lion King might be the biggest movie of the year.
Oh, that's
Aladdin.
a bold statement. That's a bold statement. But that's a family-friendly movie.
I guarantee you,
go ahead.
It's going to be one or the other. It's going to be Lion King or Endgame. Okay, Aladdin, Frozen, Toy Story 4, and don't forget at the end of the year, Star Wars. This fucking company. Jesus Christ.
I'm going to go on record and say that Lion King is not going to be as big as you expect it to be domestically.
Okay.
I'm going to go on record.
I'll take that bet. What are we betting? $1?
Chipotle.
Okay. Oh, okay.
We'll bet $1.
Okay.
That's fine. How about a small
How dare you underestimate the power of the mouse?
I'm not at, under. I'm not. I'm just saying it's not going to be as big as a hit as you saying. I'm not
Uh,
saying it was not going to pull in a couple $100 million, two, three. I'm just saying it's not going to be some sort of $1 billion
I
juggernaut.
bet you anything right now it crosses $1 billion. Absolutely, 100% positive. It's not going to cross less than $1 billion.
I bet you it won't pass Captain Marvel.
Okay, I'll take that bet.
Done and done.
Done
So
and
you
done.
know I'm going to be obnoxious on our episode when this happens, right? I'm going to
So
be
do I? Can
complete.
I be obnoxious when it does?
I'm going to be completely out of the box. Okay, I want you to know, and I'm not going to let it go. You're going to be like this. You've made your point. Let it go. Let's move on. It's going to be a lot of that because I'm going to be like, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Why are you
So
so sure that it's not? You know what kind of rabid fan base Lion King has, right?
maybe well, the thing about it is, it's the same thing that they've seen the Lion King. They have the Broadway show. It's out there. They've seen it. This is a different form of the same thing.
You know,
Okay.
Beauty and the Beast was the #1 movie of the year it came out, right? Same difference there.
Beauty and
They
the
have a
Beast.
they have a Beauty and the Beast musical on Broadway, still running, I think. The live action version, the original version. Yeah, it's the same pattern.
Beauty and the Beast made $1.2 billion,
But
$500 million domestically,
yeah,
$500 million domestically. Okay,
yeah.
um, that's a lot of overseas money there, Bill, but that's fine.
The Lion King's going to be released overseas. What makes you think it's not going to be
I'm
released
just
overseas?
saying. I said domestically.
Oh no, no,
Or,
no!
or,
Now
I
we're
said
going to debate. No,
domestically
you
that
didn't.
it
You
wouldn't
lying
necessarily.
sack of shit.
No, no, no. I said at the beginning domestically because we're already inundated with it, and Beauty and the Beast only furthers that point that it only made $500 million
Okay, you know
in
what? Then if
America.
that's going to be the stipulation, then I'll take the bet off the table because I don't know the difference that it's going to make domestic versus international. I was counting the whole take, not just domestic, not just foreign, but combined. It's going over $1 billion.
In 2017, the #1 movie was Star Wars: The Last Jedi domestically, pulling in $620 million, followed by Beauty and the Beast, $504 million, followed by Wonder Woman, 412. So
So Last Jedi was even more successful than I was led to believe. But okay,
it made, well, it's a Star Wars movie.
I get it.
These
But
movies don't make money, even with bad press. They still make money. I mean,
okay.
that's the beauty of it's that that shield hasn't been knocked down yet. And
So any
I
anyway
think the
you
problem that you had was when you had Han Solo come out. I think that was the one chink. It didn't touch the episodes. I think the episodes are still considered sacred, and people want to see them because it seems like these are one of those things you have to see if you're a Star Wars fan. Like you
anyway
have to
you
go see it.
shake it, though,
Go ahead.
Disney is going to come out with the top 5 movies of the year. Any way you want to order them, in any whatever is going to be 1 or 3 or 4 or 5, they're all going to be Disney movies.
Okay. All right. I'm not going to argue with that one part right there. So, based on my thing here of 2017, I'm going to, huh, Beauty and the Beast, huh? I would think Lion King is more popular than Beauty and the Beast.
I would think it's at least as equally popular.
That's crazy. Hmm.
Do not count.
I'll take the bet with you regardless. I mean,
Okay.
at the end of the day, when I look at you and there's a ton of money coming from overseas, I'm still going to give you the side eye
I
because
don't care where the money comes from. It all
these
spends.
people are all still running out to see Jackie Chan movies at $100 million a piece over there. So I'm not looking at
Wow.
this as some sort of like indicator of quality or discerning eye from the people overseas. But no
It
offense.
all spends. I don't care. But I mean, I understand that, we talked about this several weeks back, that there's a difference between China dollars and American dollars as far as how
Mhm.
much the studios get from it.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Well, I may have to end up paying that dollar right there. I
okay.
didn't know Beauty and the Beast pulled in so much money. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Big money.
Number four, in its third week of release, a movie I think we mentioned before, 5 feet apart. Apparently, that's still bringing in cash. It brought in another $6 million. It cost $6 million to make. It's made $50 million.
Profit.
Yeah, who the hell's going to see that shit?
Tweens and people who I think it's based on a book.
Yeah, okay. All right, there you go. The number 5 movie opening this week, and its opening week is something called Unplanned.
Who's that, like teenage pregnancy?
What She Saw Changed Everything. That's the title. So I don't think it's about pregnancy.
I mean, it could be.
Are you making a sex joke there?
I mean, once she saw it, she was like, no condoms necessary. So, just saying. You'll never know.
We're pushing condoms for on the show, Bill.
Oh, okay.
So Abby Johnson becomes the youngest clinic director in the history of Planned Parenthood. Then a life-changing experience turns her into an anti-abortion activist.
Yeah, so it is actually about unplanned pregnancy.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. It's a double entendre, play on words of some sort. It pulled in $6 million. So anyway, that's all we have. Everything else, there's a few other things opening, but nothing of note. That's
Shazam!
Your phone is charged. Your phone is charged. Your phone is charged.
I'm excited. I know you're not, but I am.
Oh yeah, it's got what is it? 95% on Rotten Tomatoes.
93, last I saw.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that says. I mean, what does the movie have to do in terms of profit? Is it trending high on the profit line?
As far as like estimates go, I heard it was like in the 45 to 50 range, but I think they might have to adjust that up. But we'll see.
For me, anytime you have a superhero on a billboard holding up a cell phone and blowing
A bubble.
that you can rest assured that pain is out right then and there. No trailer necessary. Pain is out. Now, if you had Shazam with his foot standing on a villain's neck,
Yeah, because I'm sure
writhing in pain, and him looking at it like his eyes are about to glow up, like he's about to turn his face into tuna fish. That is a movie I'll sit there and be like this. Tickets, please. I'll buy it early. That right there, not interested. Not interested.
Well, you know why they're doing it. You know that they are going in a direction that was opposite of the direction that got them critical drubbings. And if you look at the reception that this movie has gotten, and you compare it to the sad reception that BVS got.
Interesting. This is the way it always goes. From the time we've been doing this show and when we're talking, it always goes that way. If they do something that doesn't work, they always trend back towards the light.
And it's working.
They never trend towards the dark. And if they do the dark and they have a misstep, they immediately run back to comedy and light-hearted fare. That's always the baseline for them. It's never like, okay, you know what, we should have never had Superman break his arm. Maybe in the next movie we could just not have him break arms. Nope, they're like, Superman's got to do jokes. That's where they run back to that.
In this instance, in this case, it's working for them. You can't argue that so far their change in course direction is working. Success financially, critically, it's working.
Isn't the whole idea what Kevin Feige is doing is you have these Ant-Man and Wasps, and you have some of these other things, but then all of a sudden you come out with the Avengers and the Endgame where you have something with a little bit more tone of seriousness and dramatic effects. You think that DC at some point will be able to modulate be able to, like, you know what, Ezra, we can actually give you a movie. We've done a couple comedies here. We're not just going to be a one-note universe. We're going to have different directions and different tones. They're scared to do it.
Well, yeah.
We can't modulate. We can't have a different tone. It's all got to be bubblegum. It's weak.
First of all, I don't think Aquaman was exactly bubblegum. I wouldn't call Aquaman bubblegum. Or would I call Wonder Woman bubblegum?
I call their acting bubblegum.
Wow.
But I would agree with you. I wouldn't call Wonder Woman that. But after Aquaman and now you have Shazam, it seems like
And what's after Shazam? Wonder Woman 2, which isn't going to be bubblegum. Joker, which, although I'm sure it's not going to be wonderful, isn't going to be bubblegum.
did you see the title or whatever it is? They're going to take a different take on mental illness.
On Joker? Yeah, I did see that. The synopsis, yeah. It's not on the schedule for a reason.
The trailer for the Joker, I know we're all over the place with this. It really needs to be damn good, Bill. It really needs to be something that's I don't know what.
Because you know what else I read today is they are now going to have Jared Leto's Joker in Birds of Prey. So shortly after they released the standalone Joker with what's his name? Joaquin Phoenix. They're going to go back to confusing audiences by having another interpretation of the Joker that is part of a universe that they're trying to run away from. Okay. I mean, I've been a defender of DC for as long as I can take it. I can't anymore.
Yeah. You just want to walk into the room, say what you just said, look at them, and just take a deep sigh and then walk out.
By the way, I'll leave my $8 on the table because I'll see the Joker. I just won't put it on the schedule.
So he's not in the movie, but now he is in the movie. They're making. Yes. What are you doing?
Right. He's part of the There's part of the DCU, but he's not. Now we've got the Flash. Now he's not going to be the Flash anymore. So they really only got Aquaman and Wonder Woman, but they're remnants of the old DCEU.
We find that
trying to build the new DCEU.
The universe thing is something that just is not really people are into anymore. They like the whole idea of what we're doing. It's sort of like a Wild West approach where we're kind of taking bits and pieces. It's like making a hot dog. You really don't know what's in it. And so people love hot dogs, and that's what we're doing. We're calling it a hot dog filmmaking. Lips, asses, nose, whatever.
That's good.
You're happy that Leto's in there, right? You were upset before, but now that Leto's in there, you're like, yeah, Leto's in there. See,
I'm happy that he's in there. I just don't understand why the Joker with Joaquin Phoenix exists. Then I don't understand why it's a thing. Why is that necessary? We already have a Joker.
I love the news that we know that Suicide Squad is like a reboot, and then they are like, well, Jay Courtney's returning as Boomerang,
and Harley Quinn will be back.
Margot Robbie.
Yeah. So it's a reboot, but it's not.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I like Jay Courtney as Boomerang. Once again, I'm not mad at him. But their whole thing seems to be a little bit shotgunny.
It doesn't. There's no sort of cohesiveness, or even really, from all appearances, at this point in time where we're at, even an attempt to make some kind of cohesiveness.
Do you imagine that if Kevin Feige were to let the DC brass over into his secret hideaway office, they would walk in and they'd be like this? Holy shit! You have all this mapped out? Wow!
Yeah, what do you look like? Kevin Feige's office probably looks like the String Theory. Where it's like these things like all like interconnect like 20 years down the line. And DC universe probably just looks like they just threw a picture book, like a comic book, on the floor, ripped all the pages out and rearranged them.
Yeah, and they have lines drawn in crayon going from one to the other.
Right? It probably looks like that map they had of caves in Stranger Things. When they were trying to find the monster to the other side of the world or whatever. And all those like arrows were going through the house, the path.
That's it. That's hilarious. That shit is. I don't know if they can step outside of themselves, but it's funny. It's just funny to watch every time the story pops.
It's funny, but it also is frustrating and irritating as a fan because this is not the shit that I signed up for when I started investing in their universe. And now I feel like I want to take all my blocks and go home because I'm tired of them fucking yanking my chain. I'm
You're
tired. I'm
hoping
tired of
that in some way that they're able to, with all this mess, that somehow it's going to end up working its way out to where you're just like, it seemed like a hot mess at the beginning, but now they found some sort of footing. But you
I
and I
want
both
them to be
agree that won't happen until you see the big guns pet come back. That's essentially what it is.
right. I'm essentially going in a holding pattern with my DC universe
You don't think they
devotee.
can prop their universe up with just Aquaman and Shazam and
No, I
Wonder
don't.
Woman?
I don't. I don't know what kind of universe that is, but that's not the one I signed up for. It's nobody. When, wake me up when they greenlight a Superman movie. That's what I. Until that happens, I just how about even the Batman doesn't really have me all that excited because I don't understand the whole way they're going to make it work. I don't understand any of this. I don't
Well,
understand what they're doing.
let me ask you, Bill, as we head out here, Marvel is obviously different than DC. And if you agree with me on the statement that you don't see the DC being able to prop up a universe on the shoulders of just Aquaman, Shazam, and Wonder Woman, do you think that Marvel, and tell me why, that they can somehow prop their Phase 4 universe up on a Captain Marvel, a Black Widow, and some other people that aren't Iron Man, Thor, or Captain America?
Yes, because they have big guns waiting in the wings.
So
DC
the
doesn't.
people, you're saying the people will stay on board because we know we got X-Men and Fantastic Four coming, so we don't really need Captain Marvel to take us across the finish line. These other people will.
I think that's for me. That's what I'm holding out for. I believe as long as I can see some kind of cohesiveness coming down the pathway, I'll be on your side. But when you've given me, no indication that you're going anywhere that resembles anything, it's a little difficult to become invested in your world. But I know now that even though we've only gotten for 2020 and 2021 Eternals, Black Widow, Black Panther 2, Doctor Strange 2, none of which are my favorites of this universe. But I know the MCU is getting ready to reboot the X-Men. That's exciting. Fantastic Four. That's exciting. I would be more excited if rather than Black Widow or the Eternals, we were getting like Falcon and the new Captain America. But we're getting a Disney Plus show with it. So I guess that's kind of a compromise. At
Okay.
least I feel like they're giving me some hope. Where DC, I just feel like, I just feel like throwing up my hands and walking away.
I'm looking at the DC film schedule here, and we have Shazam coming, obviously. Then it's followed by Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey in 2020, February. Then Wonder Woman 1984 in June.
Yawn.
Then Batman, June 25th of 2021. Suicide Squad, 2021? August?
Right. Okay. Right.
Oh, The Flash is now off the list, I'm assuming, unless they're just going to keep the date sometime in 2021. And
Right.
then Aquaman in 2022.
Shit. By that time, I'll be 5 years from retirement.
I was about to say, wait a second. How many movies is Marvel pumping out a year? Is
Well, there are
two
only
and
two next year, and then three the year after that. Marvel
okay.
does usually have. They've been doing three a year, but next year's two.
Okay, this seems kind of thin for DC. So
Well,
after Shazam, we're not rolling back until 1 year later for Birds of Prey? Is that what you're telling me? Where's the Joker at in this?
no, it comes out in October of this year.
Oh, it didn't even make the Wikipedia page. That's how far it's so not connected to it. It's not even on there. I guess it's
Right.
not an official Disney film. It's the offshoot.
Right.
Oh, okay. Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn.
I can tell you right now, from my point of view, the next movie on our super movie schedule that we'll be seeing from DC is Wonder Woman 2. I have no desire to actually see the Joker that bad. I mean, I might go out and see it like, a couple weekends after it comes out, although that's kind of antithetical for my philosophy. Or the Birds of Prey. I really have no desire to see either one of them that bad.
The Birds of Prey is expected to be the first in a trilogy of films focusing on Harley Quinn, with the second believed to be based on the Gotham City Sirens team. It's awfully
Yeah.
ambitious.
Yeah. I don't know why I need to see this movie. I get why they're making the movie. I mean, I get why they're making it. I just don't know why it's not really for me.
They're so funny on that one. All right, we're not going to end the show on throwing shade anymore. I think it's very, very, very interesting. All right, Bill. It's been a fabulous show. I don't know if I'll be able to upload this one on March 31st, depending on our megabyte schedule.
Right.
But I'd like to give a shout out to all our fans who seem to have doubled our downloads for the month of March. So
maybe all of our fans from the previous episode are just downloading it twice.
well,
No, doesn't go like that.
What are they, idiots? I mean, that's great.
No, they just love our shit so much they can't get enough, so they download it more than once.
My old woman's not downloading our show, so I don't think they look.
She's
Content good, production value low. As if somehow, if our production value was higher, she'd be.
That
like,
would be right. That she'd be like all on it. Right. Okay.
We need some sort of sound mixer that comes on and going next on Popular Cinema Podcast, and then they could do like a little voiceover.
Bill, you don't give away spoilers. You don't want to give away
spoilers.
Yeah.
All right, Bill, what do you got going on tonight as we wrap this up?
Oh boy, here's our big double feature for the night because we're down to this. This is all that we've got left to watch. Double feature of Daredevil. Woo!
Okay. All right, that's tough beans there.
I hope I can stay awake the whole time. I'm a little tired.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything going. I have to work on I got to do something on my job tonight. So
there's nothing on TV.
Yeah, you ever do something where you ever try to cancel like your well, you understand this, where your boss sends out a mail and says, by the way, we want you to sit in on some interviews, and then you sit there and go like this, oof, wish I could, but I got other things going on. And then the secretary calls you up on the phone and says, by the way, are you able to do it? And I go like this, well, maybe I can do one, but I'm not sure, but mark me down for one. And then your boss calls you up on the phone and says, are you sure you can't do two? I can cover whatever you can't do. And
you got that phone call?
Yeah, I got that. I was like, you know what? I guess I can fit it in my schedule. Because I think she senses that I'm not trying to do it. Which makes it even worse because she's just like, I know you can do it. You're trying to be antisocial. I would like you to do it. Motherfucker.
Yeah, I get that. I get that sometimes where, you know, we're having a meeting. Would you like to be part of the meeting? Not really.
No. I'm busy doing some other stuff.
Well, I would prefer that you were part of the meeting. Oh, okay.
Yeah, whatever you're doing, you could just do that tomorrow. Well, you said I needed to do it today. Well, I understand that, but we really like you to be okay.
Right.
So anyway, Bill, I don't know. I'm doing some work tonight, so I don't even think I'll be able to watch any shows. But that's fine, though. It's a quiet.
So when you're doing your work in the evening and your girlfriend's home, what is she just like on her own? I mean, I guess she could do single by herself. What the fuck she got you for?
Yeah. She can roll independent. She's got no trouble with it. So
okay, I'm just saying.
We do have Snapped coming. We got there's some Snapped on. There's probably Sister Wives. I mean, she'll be more than happy to watch Sister Wives or whatever else like that. So
no Dr. Pimple Popper on tonight.
No.
What night does that come on?
I think that's on Thursday night, but we have Little People Big World starting up this week, so that's going to be a big hit in our house.
Did you watch Trading Spaces this week?
Don't really watch it, as I just happened to turn it on that one time. Is that where Hildy came back?
Yeah, Hildy came back. It was good.
Was she just as crazy, purposely crazy?
Yeah, that was totally fucked. And the chick, when she saw her room, like busted into tears. So that was entertaining.
You know what? I'm going to pull it up. I'm hoping I can pull it up on YouTube or something to see that bit.
Yeah.
Were the neighbors that were working with Hildy going like this? This is not a really good idea.
Oh yeah, the one lady was like apologizing. She was crying too. I feel so horrible because their room, they got Lori or whatever, and their room was like fabulous. And they loved it. And so, the one lady who traded with her was giving her like the side eye, like, bitch, I did all this shit for your room, and this is the shit you did for me. Really? And they were like really good friends and stuff too, so that makes it even harder, I guess.
Was Hildy like deuces, bitches?
Yep, that's what she did. She was like, this is art. I like to do art installations. Hildy does shit on purpose just to be a bitch. I know she does. She just does it just to be, to piss people off.
Oh, that's hilarious! To sign up for Trading Spaces and then get the roll of the dice and have her show up at your house. That
Yeah.
shit's funny.
I was thinking about this last night, and I was thinking, if Hildy came to my house, or if I was doing a show and Hildy was making me do, my neighbor's, I'd be like, you know what, show's off. I'm just not doing it. I'm just like, I'm not melting crayons and putting them on somebody's wall. I'm just not going to do it. I guess we'll just have to cancel my contract. Whatever. So
that's so funny. I'm gonna pull that up. That'll be good entertainment. Maybe I'll watch that with the woman tonight. Then see.
Yeah. I highly suggest this week's episode because the looks on the people's faces is just like too much.
Oh, maybe that'll be over dinner then. Good call, Bill.
All
right. Well, you can text me the title of the show after we get off the phone because I'm sure you have a title. I'm sure it's going to be something like the Fantabulous Emancipation shit.
Yeah, how about the Fantabulous Emancipation of Bill and Jay?
Oh,
I like it.
Yeah, that's great. It's not going to probably fit in the caption bar, but nice try.
It'll fit. That'll fit.
Well, as usual, if you have any comments for us, feel free to contact us at popularcinemapodcast@gmail.com, or you can hit us up on Twitter, which we never seem to use, at Pop Cinema Cinecast.
Wow, that's just so wrong. It's at Pop CinemaCast.
Right. And we did have a phone number for people to actually, if they wanted to call and leave messages, but I forgot the number. And I think Google might have sent me a message and say, if you're not going to use this number, we're just going to put it back out there for.
Why don't you just say, you know what? Don't bother contacting us because there's really only one way to do it. And if you're lucky, we'll read it. just say what it is.
Oh, okay. All right. I've been your co-host, Payne.
I'm Bill.
And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Shazam!